You are only a child when the Force whispers your name. You leave behind your family, your world, everything you know, to walk the path of the Jedi. You grow in shining temples, you fight in endless wars, you rise, you fall, and in the end, you are remembered as legend. Now, the story begins. Sit back, let the galaxy surround you, and feel the calm before destiny unfolds. This is your life, as a Jedi of the High Republic. And if you wish to journey deeper into the forgotten legends of the galaxy, make sure to subscribe, because this is only the beginning. You are small when it begins, not in body, though you are still a child, but in knowing. Your world has always been one of simple rhythms, the sun rising over copper skies, the dust rising from fields where your people harvest, the sound of traders calling in the marketplace, laughter echoing between the sandstone walls of your village. These things are constant, safe, familiar, but inside you, something stirs that is not familiar. It has always been there, whispering faintly, like a song just beyond hearing. When you close your eyes, you feel it. The pull of the wind before it shifts, the tremor of footsteps before they arrive, the heartbeat of living things around you. You never told anyone, not even your parents. To you, it feels as natural as breathing, until the day it shows itself. It is the season of storm. The skies blacken in the afternoons, winds screaming across the plains, lightning forking in the distance. On such nights, families huddle close, torches lit, prayers whispered, but you are outside, playing in the dust with other children, chasing scraps of cloth tied to sticks. The storm comes faster than it should. The winds rise, whipping the ground into chaos, tearing the kites from your hands. One child stumbles, falling toward the ravine's edge where the earth crumbles. The screams of the others vanish into the roar of the storm. Your body moves before your mind. You stretch out your hand, and the world stops. The child freezes in mid-fall, suspended inches above the jagged rocks. Dust swirls around them in impossible patterns, drawn by something unseen. The storm pauses, the air holding its breath. And then, like a hand pulling invisible strings, you draw them back to safety. They collapse into your arms, sobbing, alive. But everyone saw. The silence that follows is not relief, it is fear. Word spreads quickly. By nightfall, the entire village whispers of it, the spark, the impossible act, the child who caught another without touching them. Some call you blessed, others curse you, saying storms live inside you. Your parents weep in confusion, and then, before dawn, they come, not soldiers, not raiders, Jedi. They arrive in silence, their ship gleaming silver as it lands just beyond the village. Its hum is like thunder, yet its descent is graceful. Soft. You have never seen such a thing. Technology far beyond the freighters that trade in the market. The people gather, staring, whispering. 3 figures emerge, robes of brown and cream, belts heavy with strange tools, and at their sides, sabers, cylinders of metal that hum faintly, dangerous even when dormant. But it is not the weapons that draw your eyes. It is their presence, calm, centered, immovable. The storm bends around them but does not touch them. The tallest speaks, his voice steady. The child is strong in the Force. Your parents clutch your shoulders, trembling. What does this mean? The second Jedi, a woman with eyes that glow faintly in the firelight, kneels to your level. Her voice is soft. It means the galaxy calls to your child. The Force has chosen, and we have come to listen. You do not understand all of it, but you feel it. The song that has always hummed in your chest grows louder near them, as if the air itself recognizes them. That night you cannot sleep. The Jedi remain in the village, speaking with elders, assuring them of safety. The people nod, but fear lingers in their eyes. You hear whispers through thin walls, voices debating, pleading. They will take the child. It is the will of the Force. But the family? What of the family? Your parents do not speak much. Your mother stares at the stars, silent. Your father sharpens tools that no longer need sharpening. When you ask them, they only say, if this is destiny, it cannot be stopped. Destiny. The word tastes heavy on your tongue. You curl into your blanket, but the Force does not let you rest. Instead, it shows you visions, shapes of light moving in endless darkness, blades of energy clashing, stars exploding into fire, a temple gleaming above a city of towers, a council of calm faces watching, a war you cannot yet understand. You wake with your heart pounding. The dawn is pale. The Jedi are waiting. The journey begins at the edge of the village. The ship towers above you, its ramp lowered, its interior glowing faintly. The children gather in silence, eyes wide, whispering, some in awe, some in fear. The elders bow low, muttering blessings. Your parents walk beside you, their hands shaking as they grip yours. The Jedi woman kneels again. This choice is not forced. If the child stays, the spark will remain, but untrained, it may burn them, and all around them. Your parents exchange a look, pain heavy in their eyes. They kneel before you, their voices trembling. This is goodbye, little one, but it is not end. You will shine brighter than we ever could. Their words shatter something inside you. You cling to them, sobbing, your small hands trembling. The force hums in your chest, restless, unyielding. You do not want to go, but deep inside, you know. The song calls you away. The Jedi extend their hand, and slowly, your parents release you. The ship rises. The village shrinks beneath you. Fields, huts, the marketplace, all swallowed by distance. You press your face against the glass, tears blurring your vision. For the first time, you leave the world of your birth. The Jedi stand silent. One rests a hand on your shoulder. His voice is calm, but his words echo like thunder. You are no longer only child. You are Jedi now. The stars stretch into lines as the ship jumps to hyperspace. The galaxy swallows you. In the silence of the jump, you hear the Force again, louder, stronger, clearer. It whispers not in comfort but in warning. Visions flicker at the edges of your sight. A temple burning, blades clashing in fire, shadows rising where light once ruled. You do not understand. Not yet. But you know one truth. The spark inside you is not gentle. It is fire, and fire burns. The galaxy hums with echoes of what is to come. And as you close your eyes, the last of your home fading behind you, the Force whispers again, this is only the beginning. The stars blur into rivers of light. You have never traveled like this before. Hyperspace hums around you, endless currents of white and blue stretching across the void. The ship is silent except for the pulse of engines, a steady heartbeat in the dark. You sit pressed against the viewport, small hands clutching the edge, eyes wide. Your world, your home, is already gone, reduced to memory. No more copper skies, no more fields, no more laughter in the marketplace. What remains is emptiness, a hollow ache in your chest. And yet, through the ache, the Force whispers. It fills the silence between your breaths. Not words, not promises, just presence. An invisible current tugging you forward, always forward. The Jedi remain quiet. They sit cross-legged in the cabin, their eyes closed, their bodies still. They do not fidget, they do not speak. They simply are. Calm as stone, strong as mountains. You cannot understand it. How can they be so still when your heart thrashes like a trapped bird? At last, one of them opens his eyes. A man with hair touched by gray, lines of age creasing his face. His gaze is steady, kind, yet impossibly sharp. He studies you for a long moment before speaking. You feel the weight of loss, he says, not as a question but as truth. You nod, your throat tight. He inclines his head. Good. Feel it. Do not bury it. The Jedi do not deny sorrow. We see it. We accept it. But we do not let it chain us. His words feel heavy, too large for you to hold. You want to ask, how? How can you feel and not break? But your lips do not move. You only nod again, your eyes falling back to the stars. The hours stretch. Sleep takes you at last, curled small on the cabin floor. Dreams come quickly, as they always do now, visions painted in fire and shadow. You see faces you do not know, places you cannot name, towers of light piercing the sky, blades of fire clashing in smoke. A great temple glowing like the sun, and always, always the whisper, you are called. You wake with a start, sweat beading your skin. One of the Jedi sits beside you, the woman who first spoke to you in the village. Her hand rests lightly against your shoulder. The dreams will grow, she says softly. The Force shows you fragments of what is, what was, and what may be. Do not fear them. Let them guide you. Her words soothe, though only slightly. The ache remains, the hollow space where your family should be. But the Force hums louder now, as though agreeing. Hours later the ship slows. The rivers of light collapse back into stars. And ahead, you see it. Coruscant. Not a world, but a city entire. Endless towers rise from the surface, piercing clouds and atmosphere, their lights blazing like 1,000 suns. Ships swarm through the skies in perfect rhythm, lanes of fire and silver crisscrossing above the planet. It is overwhelming, dazzling, terrifying. This is the heart of the Republic, the gray-haired Jedi murmurs. The galaxy's beating pulse. The ship descends. You press your face against the glass, breath fogging it as you watch the towers grow larger, brighter. You see bridges stretching between spires, airspeeders darting like insects, landing platforms glowing with signals. Your heart races. The marketplace of your village feels like dust compared to this. Here, life hums at a scale beyond imagining. But above it all, one structure rises higher, the Jedi Temple. Its towers are vast, gleaming in sunlight, crowned with spires that stretch toward the heavens. Its steps are broad, its walls smooth and unyielding. To you, it feels less like a building and more like a mountain, ancient, immovable, eternal. You feel the Force surge within you as you see it, not faint, not whispering, singing. The ship lands on a platform at the temple's base. The air is cooler here, the hum of traffic distant, the city's chaos muted. The Jedi descend first, their robes flowing, their steps measured. You follow, your legs trembling, your eyes wide. The doors open, you step inside. The temple swallows you. The entrance hall is vast, its ceiling stretching higher than any building you have ever known. Statues of Jedi masters line the walls, their stone gazes stern and eternal. Tapestries hang between them, embroidered with symbols you do not yet understand. The floor gleams beneath your feet, smooth as glass. Everywhere, young voices echo. Children not much older than you walk in groups, dressed in simple robes, their eyes bright with purpose. Some carry training sabers, others practice stances under the watchful gaze of instructors. Their laughter rings against the stone, but it is not the laughter of a village. It is disciplined, restrained, guided. You feel their eyes on you as you pass, some with curiosity, some with recognition, all with the same spark you carry. You are home, the Jedi woman whispers, but it does not feel like home, not yet. They bring you deeper into the temple, past vast chambers and endless corridors, past gardens that bloom beneath skylights, past archives lined with holocrons glowing faintly in the dark. Everywhere, the Force hums louder, vibrating through the walls, the air, your very bones. At last, you enter the great chamber, the council, 12 seats arranged in a circle, some empty, some filled. Jedi masters sit in silence, their robes heavy, their gazes sharper than blades. Their eyes study you, not cruel, not kind, but weighing, judging, seeing you in ways you cannot hide. The gray-haired Jedi bows. Masters, the child is strong, the Force sings in them. One of the council leans forward, his voice low and resonant. We feel it too. Strong. Yes, but strength is not enough. Will they endure discipline? Will they carry the code? Another, an elder woman with eyes bright as stars, tilts her head. Time will tell. The Force has called them here. That alone is answer enough. Their words swirl around you. You do not understand all of it, but you feel their power pressing against you like waves. At last, the eldest speaks. His voice is quiet, but it carries through the chamber like thunder. Welcome, young one. From this day, you are Jedi. The council rises. The Jedi who brought you here bow and step aside. A new figure approaches, a tall knight with sharp eyes, her presence calm but commanding. She kneels, her voice steady. I will guide you now. Your training begins. You stare at her, your chest tight, your hands trembling, and then, for the first time since you left home, you whisper, yes. The council nods. The decision is made. That night they give you a bed in the temple dormitory. It is larger than your entire home, filled with rows of children whispering in the dark. You lie awake, staring at the ceiling, your heart pounding. You hear laughter, you hear chanting, you hear the hum of training sabers, you hear the Force itself, louder than ever. But beneath it all, in the cracks of silence, you hear something else, a whisper, low, cold, unfamiliar, not the song that comforted you since birth, something darker, a note beneath the melody, a storm beneath the calm. You turn onto your side, clutching your blanket tighter. The temple feels vast, safe, eternal, but somewhere in its shadows the future already stirs. The days blur into ritual. At first, every corner of the Jedi Temple overwhelms you. The sheer size of its halls, the way voices echo endlessly against stone, the presence of hundreds of children who, like you, have left behind families you will never see again. But slowly, the shock softens. The vastness becomes familiar. The whispers of the Force hum like background music to your new life. You rise at dawn, always dawn. The chime of the temple bell summons you from your narrow bed, and the younglings shuffle in long lines through glowing corridors. You are given plain robes, brown and cream like the Jedi themselves, and at first, they feel strange against your skin, rough, heavy, but they are your uniform now, the skin of your new life. Meals are silent. The masters say silence sharpens focus. Hundreds of children sit together, yet the only sounds are the quiet clinking of utensils and the faint hum of the city beyond the temple walls. You miss the chatter of your family, the warmth of their laughter. Here, you learn to carry your hunger without sound. After meals come the lessons. Your first days in the temple are spent not in battle but in knowledge. You sit cross-legged in great classrooms, floors polished, ceilings high, the air scented faintly of incense. Jedi Masters lecture from the front, their voices steady, never rushed. They speak of the galaxy's history, of the code, of the nature of the Force itself. The Force is not power, one says. It is life, it is connection. To command it is not our purpose, to serve it is. You listen, struggling to understand. How can something so vast be served? How can you obey something you cannot see? At night, you whisper these questions to yourself, and the Force only hums, as if waiting for you to learn the answer on your own. Training begins in the dojo halls. You are handed a simple practice saber. No crystal, no humming. Blade of light, just a rod of metal weighted for balance. You grip it tightly, your small hands clumsy at first. The instructors watch with hawk-like eyes. A saber is not a weapon first, it is an extension of self. Learn balance, learn rhythm. The blade is your breath, the blade is your will. You stumble through the motions, your feet tangling, your grip awkward. Other younglings move faster, cleaner. Some laugh when you fall. The sting burns sharper than any cut, but then you hear the Force again, that familiar hum, that invisible presence. You breathe deeper, you slow down, and slowly your movements steady. Not perfect, not yet, but steadier. One instructor pauses, their gaze lingering on you. They feel the rhythm, they murmur to another. Not taught, felt. You catch the words, though you pretend not to. A spark glows in your chest. Friendship finds you slowly. Most younglings are too focused on survival to reach out. Competition is fierce. Every child knows not all will pass their trials, not all will be chosen as Padawans. But one night in the dormitory, a boy with pale skin and a mischievous grin nudges your shoulder. You fight like a rancor, he whispers, smirking. But you don't quit. I like that. His name is Reinar. Bold, reckless, always in trouble. Soon he becomes your first true friend in the temple. You train together, you spar together, you whisper late at night about the galaxies you might one day see. There is also Kyra, a quiet girl whose mastery of meditation is far beyond her years. She sits with you in the gardens, guiding your breathing, teaching you how to still your mind. The Force is everywhere, she says softly, not just in battle, in wind, in roots, in you. Together you form a small circle, 3 younglings against the vastness of the temple. It is not family, but it is something. Still, not all are kind. Some younglings resent you. They whisper that you are too emotional, that your grip trembles when you spar, that your mind drifts too easily to the family you left behind. One, a sharp-eyed boy named Darren, mocks you openly. You'll never be chosen, he sneers. The masters don't want someone who cries at night. The words cut deep, but instead of answering, you take them to the dojo. You practice longer, harder. Your arms ache, your breath shatters, but you push forward. The whispers of the Force steady you, as if reminding you that every cut, every fall, is part of the rhythm. Weeks turn to months. You learn to meditate. At first, your thoughts scatter like frightened birds. You see only darkness behind closed eyes, hear only the echoes of your own doubts. But slowly, with Kyra's guidance and the Master's patience, you begin to feel it. The way the Force flows not just around you, but through you. You sit beneath the temple gardens, the fountains murmuring, the air scented with blossoms from far worlds. You close your eyes, you breathe, and suddenly you feel them, every root winding beneath the soil, every bird resting on the branches, every heartbeat in the chamber of younglings. It overwhelms you. You gasp, stumbling back, but the master beside you smiles. Good. The Force is connection. In it, you are never alone. The words echo inside you. Never alone. And for the first time since you left home, you believe it might be true. The galaxy begins to open. You study star charts in vast archives, learning names of systems and worlds you have never seen. Naboo, Corellia, Kashyyyk, Mon-Cala. The galaxy feels impossibly large, yet the masters tell you, one day, you may see them all. You practice in simulators, guiding starships through asteroid fields, learning to feel the pull of the Force as you steer. Reinar crashes his ship into the same as Pteroid 3 times in a row, and you both laugh until the instructors scowl. But even then, you feel joy. The first real joy since leaving home. Not all lessons are gentle. One day you are led into a chamber deep within the temple. There a creature awaits, small, caged, its eyes glowing faintly. A bog rat from the swamps of Nalhutta, ugly, vicious. The instructor commands you to open the cage. Fear prickles your skin. The rat hisses, its teeth sharp. Feel the fear, the master says, but do not let it own you. The Jedi acts not in fear, but in clarity. You close your eyes, breathing deep. The Force hums. The fear does not vanish, but it steadies, softens. You reach out, not with hands, but with the spark inside. The rat calms. Its hissing quiets. It lowers its head, settling into the corner of the cage. When you open your eyes, the master nods. You begin to understand. Nights are hardest. You still dream of home. Your parents' faces blur, fading each night, until only their voices remain. Sometimes you wake with tears. Sometimes you hear the Force whispering comfort, but sometimes you hear the other voice, the darker one. It slips into your dreams when the halls are silent, a whisper of power, of anger, of chains breaking. It tempts, it taunts. You do not understand it, but it chills you more than the storm ever did. You never speak of it, not to Reinar, not to Kira, not even to the masters. Some truths you keep inside. The months pass. You grow taller, faster, stronger. Your strikes in the dojo are sharper. Your meditations are deeper. Your control of the Force steadier. But one truth remains. Not every youngling becomes a Jedi. One evening, the masters gather you all in the training hall. Their robes are solemn, their faces calm but unreadable. They speak of the next step, the choosing. Each youngling will one day be chosen by a Jedi Knight or Master to become their Padawan. Those who are not will serve the Order in other ways or return to lives unknown. The hall falls silent. The weight of the words presses heavy. Every child feels it. Fear, hope, desperation. You feel it too. As the masters dismiss the group, your heart pounds. Will you be chosen? Will the spark inside you be enough? Or will you fade into the shadows of the temple, nameless among the many? That night, you lie awake, staring at the ceiling. The Force hums louder than ever, restless, insistent. The dark whisper lingers at the edge of your hearing, taunting, promising. And you know, the moment is coming. Soon, your fate will no longer be yours alone. The air in the temple feels heavier today. From the moment the morning bell tolls, you sense it. The way the younglings whisper nervously in the corridors, the way instructors speak less, their gazes sharp and watchful. Even the Force itself hums differently, taut and restless, like a string stretched too tight. Today is the day of choosing. All younglings gather in the grand hall. The chamber is wide and circular, sunlight pouring through high windows, banners of the Jedi Order hanging from the walls. The floor gleams, polished to a mirror's shine. You sit cross-legged among rows of children, your robe plain, your braid of hair short. Around the hall, Jedi Knights and Masters stand in silence, their faces unreadable. Their eyes move slowly across the gathered younglings, weighing, studying, measuring. The pressure of their gaze settles on your shoulders like stone. You try to steady your breath, to focus as your teachers taught you. There is no emotion. There is peace. But your heart pounds too loud, your palms sweat against your knees. For you know the truth. Not every youngling is chosen. The masters step forward, forming a circle at the hall's edge. Their voices echo calmly, yet carry weight enough to fill the chamber. Today, you stand before the Order. Each of you has trained, struggled, and grown. Now comes the next step. A knight or master may choose you to walk the path of Padawan. If chosen, your training deepens. If not, You will continue to serve the Force in other ways. The words hang heavy. Some younglings sit straighter, eager. Others shrink, fear plain on their faces. You keep your head low, forcing your breath steady, but your chest feels hollow. One by one, the choosing begins. A tall master with a scar across his cheek steps forward. His gaze lingers on the crowd, then stops. You. He gestures to a boy with steady eyes and calm hands. The boy bows, low, trembling, before following him from the chamber. Another master, robed in pale cream, selects a girl whose meditation has always been flawless. The girl's face remains calm, but you see her hands shake as she rises. More names are called. One after another, younglings are chosen. Ragnar sits beside you, his grin sharp as ever, but you see the tension in his jaw. Kira closes her eyes, as if already meditating through the wait. You remain still, unchosen. At last, silence. Only a few of you remain. Your heart sinks. The whispers in your chest grow darker. Perhaps they were right. Perhaps you are not enough. And then, a voice, calm, strong, female. I will take this one. Your head snaps up. From the shadows steps a Jedi Knight unlike any you have seen. Tall, with dark braids woven into her hair, her robes marked with faint scars of travel and battle. Her gaze is sharp, unflinching, but her presence radiates quiet strength. Her eyes are on you. The hall falls silent. You feel every other youngling's gaze turn your way. Rise, she commands. Your legs tremble as you stand. You bow low, your voice breaking. Yes, master. She studies you a moment longer, then nods. You have fire. That fire must be tempered. You will walk with me. The masters of the council incline their heads. The decision is sealed. You are chosen. The hall disperses. Younglings murmur to each other, some in envy, some in relief. Ragnar claps your shoulder, grinning despite his own uncertainty. Knew you'd get picked. Try not to forget me when you're a great Jedi. Kira only smiles faintly, her eyes calm. This is the Force's path for you. But beneath their words, you feel the shift. The bonds you forged as a youngling will never be the same. You are no longer one of many. You are Padawan, and with that title comes weight you cannot yet see. Your new master leads you from the hall, through corridors lined with statues of Jedi long dead. The silence between you is heavy. At last, she speaks. My name is Jedi Knight Saris Vale. From this day, you are my Padawan. You bow low again. Yes, master. Her eyes linger on you, sharp. Do you know why I chose you? You hesitate, unsure. Because I am strong in the Force? She shakes her head. Many are strong. I chose you because I saw your fear, and I saw that you faced it. Fear can break a Jedi, or it can sharpen them. You will learn which it is for you. Her words settle into you like fire. Fear. It has always followed you, whispering at the edges of your dreams, twisting your chest. You thought it was weakness. She sees something else. That night, you are given new quarters, smaller, quieter, meant for Padawans. Only one bed, only one future. You cannot sleep. You stare at the ceiling, your braid of hair resting against your cheek. The Force hums stronger now, louder, restless. You feel Saris's presence in the temple, calm, steady, burning faintly like a star you can sense but cannot touch. And beneath it, you hear it again. The darker whisper, quieter than before, yet sharper. Chosen, but for what? Fire burns. No matter who carries it. You roll onto your side, clutching your blanket. The temple feels different now, not only vast, but heavy, as though its walls press closer. You whisper into the silence, I will not fall. The Force answers with no words, only a hum, testing, waiting. The next morning Saris wakes you before dawn. She does not speak much, only gestures for you to follow. Together, you walk through the temple, past the grand halls, past the gardens, past chambers you have never seen. At last, you step into a place where the ceiling opens to the sky, the training ground. Here, Padawans spar under the rising sun. Blades of light clash, humming sharp and bright, their glow casting long shadows. The air vibrates with their strikes, with their shouts, with their discipline. Say. Riss places a hand on your shoulder. This is where you begin. A saber is not just weapon. It is your life. Your heart, your bond with the Force made flesh. She reaches into her robe and pulls out something small, a hilt of metal, plain, simple. She places it in your hands. It is heavier than you expect. One day you will craft your own. For now you will train with this. You press the switch. Light erupts. A blue blade hums to life, its glow casting across your face. The sound cuts through the morning air like thunder. For a moment, awe fills your chest, and then the weight of it settles. This is not toy, not practice. This is responsibility. This is your path, Sarah says. But the Force will test you. Fire will test you. And one day, you must face the darkness inside you as much as the darkness beyond. Her words linger. The blade hums in your hand. The Force thrums louder than ever. And you know, this choice is not end. It is only beginning. As the sun rises over the temple, you stand with saber in hand, heart racing. You are Padawan now. The path of the Jedi stretches before you, long, uncertain, heavy. But in the shadows of the temple, the darker whisper stirs again. All paths burn, and you cannot yet tell if it is warning or prophecy. The blade hum still lingers in your ears. Ever since Saris placed the training saber in your hands, the sound has haunted you, not frightening, but endless. Each night when you close your eyes, you hear it, vibrating in your chest, echoing through your dreams. Sometimes it comforts you, sometimes it feels like warning, but always, it is there. Balance, Saris repeats each dawn as you spar in the training grounds. Your strikes are fire, but your steps are stone. Too rigid, and you break. Too wild, and you burn. A Jedi is neither. A Jedi is harmony. Harmony. The word feels distant. Each swing of the saber is too heavy, each movement too clumsy. When you focus, your strikes slow. When you release, they grow wild. The line between control and freedom is razor thin, and you stumble across it again and again. Saris never shouts, never scolds. She only watches, her eyes sharp, her words steady. Again, and so you begin again. Weeks pass in endless rhythm, training halls, meditation chambers, the archives where holocrons whisper voices of masters long dead, the gardens where fountains murmur and blossoms fall with the wind. You breathe in, you breathe out, you feel the Force flow through you, but always, always there is struggle. The balance Saris demands eludes you. Your heart burns too brightly. Fear still clings in your chest, no matter how deeply you bury it. One morning, Saris finds you restless. You spar alone in the dojo, sweat dripping, your strikes wild and uneven. You stumble, nearly fall. Her voice cuts through the chamber. Your anger controls your blade. You gasp, turning. She stands in the doorway, her arms folded. I'm not angry, you protest. Her eyes narrow. You are. At yourself, at your weakness. You cannot lie to the Force, and you cannot lie to me. The words burn. You lower your saber, your head sinking. She steps closer, her voice softer. Do you know why I chose you, Padawan? Not for your strength, not for your skill, for your fire. You feel deeply. That is not weakness, but without harmony, it will consume you. She places a hand on your shoulder. And so, we go to the wilds. The temple fades behind you. For the first time, you leave Coruscant. The ship hums as it breaks orbit, stars stretching before you. You press against the viewport, heart racing. To see the galaxy not in maps or lessons, but with your own eyes. It feels unreal. Saris pilots in silence, her gaze steady. At last she speaks. A Jedi does not find harmony in stone walls alone. The Force is not only in temples, it lives in rivers, storms, fire and silence. To serve it, you must hear it in all things. The ship descends onto a world unnamed to you, a place of wild forests, mountains shrouded in mist, rivers that roar louder than thunder. The air tastes sharp and alive as you step onto the soil. Saris gestures to the horizon. Here begins your trial of harmony. The days in the wilds are grueling. Saris gives no guidance, no maps. She only says, listen. You walk through forests where shadows twist beneath ancient trees. You cross rivers on trembling logs, the roar of water deafening. You climb cliffs with raw hands, your muscles screaming. Hunger gnaws your belly, cold stings your skin, exhaustion blurs your vision. Each time you falter, the whisper of the dark creeps close. You are weak, you will fail. This is not training, this is punishment. But then you breathe, you close your eyes. You hear the rustle of leaves, the murmur of rivers, the heartbeat of living things around you. The Force hums, steady and present, and you take one more step. Saris watches always, her presence near yet distant, never helping, never guiding, only watching. On the fourth night the trial deepens. The forest falls silent, too silent. The air grows heavy, titodet. He shadows sharp, you feel it before you see it, the predator. A beast of the wild, massive, its hide thick, its eyes glowing faintly in the moonlight. It prowls from the shadows, its growl vibrating the earth beneath your feet. Your breath catches. Your saber trembles in your hand. Ceres's voice echoes from the darkness. Harmony, Padawan, remember. The beast lunges. You ignite the saber, blue light flashing. Its roar fills the night as it strikes. You dodge, barely, the force screaming through your veins. You swing, your blade slashing across its hide, but the strike is wild, fueled by fear. It glances off. The beast roars louder, fury burning in its eyes. You stumble, your heart racing. Fear grips you, wild and sharp. You feel the shadow whisper, kill, strike, end it. But then, you hear the other hum, softer, calmer. The force itself, not demanding, not shouting, calling. You close your eyes, you breathe, you release the fear. And suddenly, you feel it, the rhythm of the beast's heartbeat, the tremor of its breath, the weight of its hunger, the pain hidden beneath its roar. You see not monster, but life, not enemy, but connection. You lower your blade, you open your palm, the beast charges, then stops, inches away, its breath hot against your skin, its growl fading. Its eyes meet yours, and for a moment the forest holds its breath. The force hums, steady and calm, harmony. The beast steps back, slowly, silently. It vanishes into the shadows. When you open your eyes, Ceres stands watching, her gaze unreadable. At last, she nods. You begin to understand. The days that follow change. You move through the wilds not with fear, but with presence. You listen to rivers before crossing. You breathe with the trees before resting. You feel the heartbeat of every creature, every gust of wind, every flicker of flame. You spar with Ceres beneath the canopy. Your strikes slower, steadier. Your feet follow the rhythm of the forest, not only your fear. For the first time, your blade feels less like a weapon and more like extension. Ceres smiles faintly. Rare, but real. Good. Remember this. A Jedi in harmony with the Force is never alone. Not in wilderness, not in war. Her words burn into you. On the final night of the trial, you sit at the river's edge. The water reflects the moons above, silver light shimmering. You breathe, your chest calm, your spirit steady. For the first time, you feel whole. But then, the water ripples. The reflection distorts. And in it, you see not the moons, not the trees, not yourself. You see fire. Blades clashing in smoke, temples burning, Jedi falling, shadows rising. And a voice, low, cold, familiar, whispers through the water. Balance breaks. Harmony dies. All light burns away. You gasp, stumbling back. The river calms, the reflection normal again. But the whisper lingers in your chest. The force hums louder, restless. The trial may be ending, but something far darker is beginning. The stars stretch before you like an unrolled map. You have left the forests, the rivers, the quiet trials of balance. Now, Ceres stands beside you on the deck of a Republic cruiser, her gaze fixed on the streaking lights of hyperspace. Her presence burns steady, calm as ever, but you feel something in her posture, a subtle tension, a heaviness. This is the galaxy beyond the temple, she says, her voice low. Not lessons, not practice. The real pulse of the Republic. Her words carry weight. You press your palms to the viewport, your heart racing. Since childhood, you have dreamed of the stars, but seeing them now, alive, endless, rushing past, it feels as though the Force itself is breathing around you. And somewhere deep inside, you know, this is only the beginning. The cruiser drops from hyperspace. The view steals your breath. Before you stretches a frontier system, uncharted until recently, its suns burning bright, its planets wrapped in untouched wilderness. A fleet of Republic ships hovers in orbit, their hulls gleaming gold and silver, banners of the Republic fluttering digitally on their comms. Construction stations hang above a verdant world, scaffolds stretching like skeletons of giants. At the center stands the beacon, Starlight, not yet complete, but already radiant, a massive space station, its arms spreading outward like rays, its core shining with promise. It will be the jewel of the expansion, the Republic's symbol of unity and peace. You press closer to the glass, your chest tight with awe. It's beautiful. Ceres's voice is quiet but not unkind. Beauty is fragile. Remember that. The ship docks. The air of the station smells of ozone and fresh metal, echoing with the clang of droids and voices of workers. Senators in fine robes stride through the corridors, their words filled with pride. Explorers speak of new routes carved through hyperspace storms, lanes that will connect systems long cut off from the core. You and Saris move among them, cloaked in Jedi robes. Whispers follow you, respect, curiosity, some fear. The Jedi, one senator says, her voice hushed. Guardians of peace. Even here, you lift your chin higher, pride glowing in your chest. To walk among these people as Padawan, it feels like destiny. But pride quickly gives way to duty. The frontier is not safe. Beyond the glittering station, colonies struggle on worlds where storms rage, beasts prowl, and raiders circle like vultures. Your first mission comes swiftly, escorting a convoy of settlers to a nearby planet where farms will be built. The journey begins calmly. You ride in the cockpit of a shuttle, the hum of engines soothing. Families sit behind you, their voices filled with hope. Children peer out windows, their eyes wide, just as yours once were. You hear their whispers. A new life, a chance to start again. The Republic protects us. For a moment, the galaxy feels as if it is healing. Then the shadows arrive. The attack comes without warning. The stars ahead warp as ships drop from hyperspace. Not sleek Republic cruisers, not orderly convoys. Jagged vessels patched together from scrap, bristling with weapons, their hulls painted with symbols of storms. The Nihil. Their ships move like predators, cutting through the void with impossible speed. Before alarms can sound, blaster fire tears through the convoy. Explosions bloom like false suns, shuttles scattering in panic. You stagger, the force screaming in your chest. The settlers cry out, clutching their children. The shuttle rattles violently, shields sparking under the barrage. Saris's voice is calm, sharp as a blade. Steady, Padawan. Feel the storm. Do not let it drown you. The shuttle banks hard. A Nihil fighter streaks past, its hull glowing with stolen engines. For the first time, you feel true fear, not for yourself, but for the innocents screaming behind you. You grip your saber tighter. The battle is chaos. Republic ships rally, their golden hulls flashing, but the Nihil strike like lightning, unpredictable, merciless. They ram, they scatter, they vanish into hyperspace only to reappear in new places. The lanes themselves bend to their will. Saris guides you to the rear hatch. She ignites her blade, green light casting across her face. Her eyes burn calm, yet fierce. Remember your trial, harmony, even in chaos. The Force is your anchor. The hatch opens. The void yawns. Raiders leap aboard, their armor jagged, their weapons crude but deadly. They scream through cracked helmets, their voices distorted. You ignite your saber. The hum steadies your breath. The clash begins. Blaster bolts fill the air. You move as Saris taught you, breathing, flowing, deflecting. Each strike of your saber sings, each movement guided by the Force. Fear claws at you, but you bury it beneath rhythm. One raider falls, then another, but you are not perfect. A blade slices close, nearly cutting your arm. You stumble, the storm in your chest roaring. The shadow whispers, strike harder, kill them all. End it. You grit your teeth, pushing it back. No, not like this. Saris's voice cuts through. Focus. Balance. You center yourself. Breathe. Strike. Flow. The raiders falter. The settlers cheer, their terror easing. For a moment you believe victory is within reach. But then, the void itself shifts. A Nihil command ship tears into real space, its engines screaming with unnatural energy. The Force shudders. Even Saris stiffens, her eyes narrowing. This is no ordinary raid, she murmurs. The ship's cannons glow. The blast is blinding. The shuttle shudders violently, alarms screaming. Fire erupts in the cabin, settlers crying out. Saris slams her hand to the console, shouting for evacuation. You stagger, smoke burning your lungs, your saber flickering in chaos. Through the viewport you see it, the starlight beacon, shining above the planet. But between you and it, the Nihil swarm, their ships blotting out the stars like storm clouds. Your chest tightens, the Force hums louder, restless warning. This is not just a skirmish. This is storm, and storms do not pass easily. The stars no longer look safe. Once, you gazed at them with wonder, lights of endless promise, maps of journeys yet to come. But now, as the shuttle burns through the void, as Nihil's ships prowl like wolves in the dark, the stars feel like graves. The settlers behind you clutch each other, their fear a heavy weight pressing on the air. The force ripples with it, sharp and trembling. You feel every heartbeat, every cry, every desperate prayer. Sarah stands at the viewport, her saber extinguished now, but her presence sharper than a drawn blade. Her voice is calm, yet her words cut. The Nihil are not like other raiders. They are storm, no pattern, no reason, only chaos. Her gaze flicks to you. That chaos is their strength, but it can also be their weakness. If you learn to listen, you swallow hard, your palms slick against your saber hilt. The whisper of the force is restless, like wind before thunder. You feel something coming, something greater than simple raiders. The convoy limps forward, engines scarred, shields flickering. Ahead, Starlight Beacon glows faintly, its unfinished frame still radiant against the stars. Safety feels close, yet impossibly far. Then the Nihil strike again. They do not come in lines like the Republic. They scatter, vanish, reappear. Their ships burst from hyperspace at impossible angles, cutting through convoys with brutal precision. Settlers scream as another shuttle explodes into fire, debris scattering like sparks. The force surges in your chest, warning, urgent. Left, you cry before the pilot even reacts. The shuttle banks sharply just as a Nihil fighter rips past, its cannons blazing. Saris's eyes narrow. Good, trust that. Your breath trembles. You don't understand how you knew, but you did. The battle rages. Republic cruisers push forward, their golden hulls flashing with cannon fire. Droids swarm, starfighters scramble, but the Satitita Nihil move like shadows. Every time you think the fight is turning, they shift again, tearing new wounds into the fleet. Saris steps to the comms, her voice sharp. This shuttle carries civilians. We need escort to beacon. Static crackles, then a fractured reply. Hold as long as we... The signal cuts, drowned in screams and explosions. The settlers weep. You feel their fear gnaw at your chest, pulling you down. The shadow whispers, "This is hopeless. End it. Cut them down." Only death silences fear. You grip your saber tighter, forcing your breath steady. No, not that way. The force screams again. A Nihil boarding craft slams against the hull, magnetic clamps locking tight. The settlers cry out as the doors groan under pressure. Saris ignites her saber, the green glow cutting through the smoke. Her voice is iron. "Stay behind me, Padawan, with me." The doors burst, raiders pour through, jagged blades and blasters flashing. Their helmets hiss with distorted screams, their movements wild, unpredictable. You ignite your saber. Blue light erupts, humming steady against the storm. The clash begins. Blaster bolts rain. You move as trained, breathing, deflecting, flowing. Each strike of your saber hums with rhythm. But the Nihil are not disciplined. They lunge without pattern, shrieking, flailing. Fear claws at you, but you hear Saris's voice. Harmony, even in chaos. You find the rhythm beneath their madness, the pulse of their rage, the heartbeat of their strikes. Slowly, you begin to move with it, not against it. A raider falls, then another, but the storm does not end. A massive raider barrels forward, his weapon a vibro-axe crackling with energy. His swing crashes against your saber, the impact jarring your arms. He laughs through his mask, pressing harder, forcing you back. The shadow whispers, "Strike harder. Rage is power. Rage will save them." Your vision blurs. The settlers scream behind you. You feel the pull, hot, sharp, tempting. Then Saris's voice cuts through, calm but fierce. "Padawan, breathe!" You gasp, dragging in air, the force surging with it. You release the fear, the rage. The storm quiets. Just enough. You shift, letting the raider's weight carry him forward. Your saber arcs clean, disarming him. He collapses with a cry. The force steadies. You stand firm, for now. The shuttle shudders violently. Through the viewport you see the Nihil command ship looming larger, its engines glowing with unnatural energy. Lightning crackles across its hull, storms of hyperspace twisting around it like chains. Your chest tightens. The force hums louder, screaming warning. This ship is not like the others. It feels wrong. Saris follows your gaze, her jaw tightening. The Nihil have secrets even the Order does not yet know, secrets tied to hyperspace itself. She grips your shoulder, her eyes burning into yours. This is your lesson, Padawan. Shadows can twist the stars themselves. If we cannot learn their rhythm, the galaxy will drown. The words settle heavy. You do not fully understand, but the force does. It thrums with urgency, with warning, with promise of storm yet to come. The shuttle banks hard, engines screaming. Ahead, the beacon glows brighter, but the Nihil swarm blocks the path, their ships darting like predators, their storms ripping lanes apart. The settlers cling to each other, praying. Saris stands unshaken, her saber humming steady. And you, caught between fear and harmony, between light and shadow, feel the weight of the galaxy pressing into your chest. The stars flicker, the storm grows, and somewhere in the chaos, a voice you cannot name whispers again, "This is only the beginning." The storm does not pass. Even after the Nihil retreat, scattering back into the void with their chaotic jumps, silence does not return. The convoy limps toward Starlight Beacon, engines scarred, hulls cracked, but the fear remains. You feel it in every settler's breath, every trembling voice, every whisper of doubt. You stand in the shuttle's cabin, your saber extinguished, sweat still clinging to your skin. The hum of battle lingers in your chest. The image of fire exploding across the stars will not leave your mind. Saris studies you in silence. At last, she speaks. Today you faced chaos. You did not fall. But the Force does not measure victory by survival alone. Her words hang in the air, heavy. You want to ask what she means, but her eyes tell you. The answer must come not from her, but from you. When the convoy docks at Starlight Beacon, the station feels alive with light and sound. Droids swarm to repair ships, medics rush to aid the wounded, senators argue in hurried whispers. Amid it all, the Jedi move like calm rivers, robes flowing, voices steady, hands guiding. But the calm is surface. Beneath, you feel the tremor, fear, doubt, uncertainty. You follow Saris through the station's shining corridors until you reach a quiet chamber. Its walls are bare, its floor smooth, its only light a small flame flickering in the center. "This is where your test begins," Saris says. Your breath catches. "A trial?" She nods once. "Every Padawan must face them. Some trials are chosen, some are given by the Force itself. Today, it calls for yours." Her eyes narrow, sharp as steel. "You will face this alone." The door seals behind you. Silence presses in. The flame flickers, its glow casting long shadows on the walls. You kneel, your heart pounding, your breath uneven. The Force hums, louder now, pulling at your chest. You close your eyes. The world shifts. You are no longer in the chamber. You stand in endless dark. Stars glimmer faintly above, but they flicker as if suffocating. The ground beneath your feet feels like stone, yet it ripples like water. The flame is gone, and in its place, shadows. They move around you, whispering, circling. Voices you know, voices you fear. Too weak, too fearful. You will never be chosen. The whispers cut deeper than any blade. You raise your saber, its hum steady, but the shadows laugh. Figures emerge, not strangers, Jedi, Saris, Rhinar, Kira, their faces twisted, their eyes hollow. "You will fail us all," they hiss. Your chest tightens. No, this isn't real, but the Force does not deny it. The shadows attack, their sabers blaze crimson, their strikes fast and merciless. You block, you deflect, your arms trembling. Each blow rattles your bones. You stumble, fear clawing at your chest. The dark voice whispers again, "Strike back, kill them. Only then will you live." Your saber arcs wide, fueled by fear. One shadow falls, dissolving into mist. For a moment, triumph surges. Then the mist whispers, "Yes, rage, power, more." You freeze, horror tightening your throat. Each strike fueled by fear strengthens the shadows. They grow sharper, faster, hungrier. You fall to your knees, saber shaking in your hands. I can't win." And then another voice, softer, calmer, familiar, Kira's voice. "Breathe." You close your eyes, you release the fear, you listen, and you feel it, the rhythm beneath the storm. The heartbeat of the Force, calm, steady, endless. You rise. The shadows strike again, but you no longer fight with rage. You move with the rhythm. One step flows into another. Your saber hums not as weapon, but as song. The whispers fade, the shadows weaken. At last, you stand alone in the dark. The Force hums steady in your chest, but the trial is not over. A figure steps forward from the void, cloaked, hooded. His eyes glow faintly yellow. His voice is low, sharp. You think harmony saves you? Harmony is weakness. Balance is lie. The storm will drown you. The hood falls. It is you. Your face twisted in shadow, your eyes burning, your voice hissing, "I am your future." Your breath catches. The saber trembles in your hand, and you know, the true test has begun. The duel is unlike any before. Every strike is your own. Every weakness mirrored. Every fear exposed. When you hesitate, the shadow presses harder. When you strike wildly, the shadow strikes cleaner. You stumble, falling to your knees. The shadow presses its blade to your throat. Its voice cuts like thunder. You will fall. Not to me, not today, but one day. The storm will claim you. That is your destiny. The words slice deeper than the blade. The force surges within you, restless, burning. You feel the choice clawing at you, to believe the shadow, to deny it, to rise, to fall. You close your eyes, you breathe, you whisper into the void, "No, my destiny is mine." The saber hums brighter, the shadow falters. For a moment you see its face shift, not enemy, not future, but fear itself, and then it vanishes. The chamber returns. You collapse to the floor, breath ragged, sweat dripping. The flame flickers steady once more. The silence is heavy, but the force hums calm in your chest. The door opens. Saris enters, her eyes steady. She studies you for a long moment, then kneels. "You faced yourself," she says softly. "That is the hardest trial of all. You want to speak, but words fail. Only the memory of the shadow lingers, its voice, its warning." Saris rests a hand on your shoulder. "This is only beginning. Trials never end. They only change." Her words comfort and chill you at once, for even as the chamber quiets, you feel it. The shadow still lingers, waiting. The shadow of your trial lingers. Though the chamber returned to silence, though Saris told you that you had passed, the memory will not fade. You still feel the echo of the duel, the weight of your own face twisted in darkness, the voice that whispered your fall. At night when the temple sleeps, you wake in sweat, the hum of your saber ringing in your ears. And yet, life does not pause. The galaxy expands, the Order stretches its hands across the stars, and Padawans like you march onward. Trials do not end. They only shape you for the next storm. It is in this rhythm that you find them, your brothers and sisters in arms. You meet them not in the temple but beyond it, aboard a cruiser bound for the mid-rim. The Republic sends ships to guard new hyperspace lanes, and Padawans are sent with their masters to learn what it means to serve not only the Force, but the people. The training halls of the cruiser are alive with sound. Sabers clashing, laughter echoing, voices calling. Dozens of Padawans spar under the gaze of their masters. The room hums with energy. It is here you cross blades with Rhynar again. His grin is as sharp as ever, his strikes reckless but fierce. He laughs as your sabers clash, sparks flying between you. "Still fighting like a rancor," he teases. "But you've gotten faster." You smirk despite yourself, and you still leave your guard open. Your blade twists, nearly disarming him. He stumbles but recovers with a roar of laughter. "Better, much better." The others watch, some cheering, some jeering. And in that moment, the fear of the shadow fades. For here, among your peers, the fight feels lighter. It feels alive. The days aboard the cruiser forge bonds quickly. You spar not only with Rhynar, but with others, Padawans from across the Order, each carrying their own scars and sparks. Some are calm as stone, their movements sharp and precise. Others are fey, airy, reckless, wild. You train together. You meditate together. You share meals in crowded halls, laughter spilling over the tables. The silence of the temple feels far away. Here the Order breathes with youth, and yet it is more than friendship. It is brotherhood. One night you sit with Rhynar and Kyra in the observation deck, stars stretching beyond the glass. The galaxy hums with promise. "Do you ever think about it?" Rhynar asks softly. "What will be? Knights? Maybe even masters?" Kyra's gaze remains fixed on the stars. "I think about what we'll have to lose to get there." Her words cut the silence. You feel them settle in your chest, for you know she is right. To be Jedi is to serve. To serve is to sacrifice. But still, you smile faintly. "Whatever comes, we'll face it together." The words feel true, and for a moment, you believe them. The mission comes swiftly. A frontier colony sends a distress call. Raiders have attacked, settlers trapped, supplies stolen. Republic cruisers cannot arrive in time. The Jedi must act. Saris gathers you at the hangar, her saber hanging heavy at her side. Her eyes burn steady, her voice calm. This is not training, these are lives. Fear will come, but remember, fear is not end. Harmony will carry you. You nod, your chest tight. Around you, other Padawans ready themselves. Reinar grips your shoulder, his grin sharp, but his eyes steady. Don't fall behind, brother. The ships launch, engines roar, the stars stretch once more. The colony burns. Smoke rises from shattered homes, flames consuming wooden beams and stone walls. Settlers scatter through the streets, their cries sharp against the roar of blaster fire. Raiders prowl, their armor jagged, their laughter cruel. The sight sears into you. These are not simulations, not visions. These are people, bleeding, dying. The ship lands hard, dust and fire swirling. Saris leads, her blade igniting in a blaze of green. With me, you leap into chaos. Your saber hums alive, its blue light cutting through smoke. Raiders snarl and charge, their weapons clashing against your blade. The force surges, guiding your strikes, steadying your breath. Around you, the Padawans fight together. Reinar's laughter roars as he pushes back 2 raiders at once, his strikes reckless but strong. Kira moves with calm precision, her saber flashing like water. Together you carve a path through the storm. The settlers cheer, hope igniting in their eyes. For the first time you feel what it means to be Jedi. Not only warrior, but protector. The battle does not end quickly. Hours stretch as you drive the raiders back. Sweat burns your skin, your muscles ache, but the force carries you. Each moment, you feel your brothers and sisters beside you. Their presence steadies you, their voices sharpen you. At last, the final raider flees, vanishing into the wilds. Silence falls. The smoke lingers, but the cries fade. The settlers gather, their voices trembling with gratitude. Children clutch your robes, their eyes wide. "You saved us," one whispers. You kneel, your chest still heaving. The force saved you. "We only listened." The child smiles faintly. For them, the words are enough. That night, the Jedi gather in the ruins of the colony. Fires crackle, settlers rest, children sleep in the shadows of tents. The Padawans sit together, their robes torn, their faces smeared with ash. Reinar leans back, his grin faint but proud. "We did it. We actually did it." Kira's voice is softer. "We saved them, but how many more will need saving?" The words settle heavy. The galaxy is vast. The Nihil are shadows spreading. The order is strong, but even you can feel it. The storm is growing. You stare into the fire, the faces of the settlers burned into your memory. For the first time, you understand the weight of your oath. This is not glory. This is duty, and duty never ends. Later, Saris finds you alone, sitting on a ridge overlooking the colony. Her voice is quiet, almost gentle. "You fought well today, but more than that, you fought with others. Do you see why that matters?" You nod slowly. "Alone, I would have fallen. Together, we stood." Her eyes soften. The Jedi are not only individuals. We are chain, bond, brotherhood. When one breaks, all feel it. When one rises, all rise. Her words burn into your chest. You think of Reinar's laughter, Kira's calm, the other Padawans' steady strikes. You think of the settlers' cheers. For the first time, you feel it fully, brotherhood. But even as the fire warms you, the shadow stirs again. The dark voice whispers at the edge of hearing. Chains break, bonds shatter, and when they do, you will stand alone. You close your eyes, steadying your breath. You whisper back into the night. "No, not while the force binds us." The force hums in answer, but beneath it, the shadow laughs. And you know the bonds you cherish will one day be tested in fire. The night before dawn feels endless. You sit alone in the temple gardens, your braid brushing your shoulder, your saber resting in your lap. The fountains murmur softly, blossoms drift through the air, stars shimmer faintly above Coruscant's endless spires. But none of it calms you. Tomorrow, your braid may be cut. Tomorrow, your master may release you from Padawan chains. Tomorrow, you may stand as Jedi Knight. The thought should fill you with pride. Instead, your chest feels heavy. You think of the trials, the forest where you faced the beast, the chamber where you fought yourself, the battlefield where you stood beside Reinar and Kyra. You think of the settlers' cries, the storm of the Nihil, the shadows' whispers in your dreams. Are you ready? The Force does not answer. Before dawn, Ceres finds you still awake. She does not speak at first. She stands beside you, her presence steady as ever, her gaze fixed on the rising light of the city. At last she breaks the silence. You doubt. You lower your head. I fear. I am not ready. Her eyes flick to you, sharp but not unkind. Do you think I was ready when my braid was cut? Do you think any of us are? You frown. But you are Jedi. Yes. She sighs softly. But Jedi are not forged in certainty. We are forged in choice. The galaxy will never wait until we are ready. It will demand of us anyway. Her hand rests briefly on your shoulder. The question is not if you are ready. It is if you will rise when you are not. The words settle deep in you, heavier than any lesson before. The hall of knighthood is vast, lit only by dawn's first light streaming through high windows. Padawans kneel in rows, their masters standing behind them. The council sits in silence, their robes heavy, their gazes like stone. You kneel among them, your heart hammering. Your braid brushes your shoulder for what may be the last time. The hum of tongue. He force fills the air, steady, endless. One by one, names are called. Masters step forward, braids are cut, sabers lifted. Padawans rise as knights, their faces trembling with pride, relief, and fear. At last, your name echoes. You rise, your knees shaking, your chest tight. Ceres steps forward. Her eyes burn steady, her saber hilt glinting in the light. She studies you for a long moment, her silence heavier than any speech. At last her voice cuts the stillness. Padawan, you have walked the trials, you have faced fear, shadow, and storm. You have learned not only blade but bond, not only strength but harmony. You are no longer apprentice. You are Jedi. Her saber ignites, green light humming steady. She lifts it to your shoulder, then to the other. The air hums with power, the Force thrumming with resonance. With one swift motion she cuts the braid. It falls to the floor. Your chest feels hollow and full at once. Rise, Knight of the Republic. The council inclines their heads. The Padawans murmur. Reinar grins at you from across the chamber, pride in his eyes. Kira smiles faintly, calm but warm. You rise. Not Padawan, not child, knight. The ceremony ends, but the weight remains. Knighthood is not relief, it is burden. The robe feels heavier on your shoulders, the saber sharper in your hand. You stand with Ceres one last time in the gardens. She does not smile, but her eyes are softer than ever before. I release you, she says. But know this, though our bond of master and Padawan is cut, the bond of the Force is not. I will walk beside you, though not in name. Your chest tightens. I don't know how to walk without you. Her gaze is steady. You do. You always did. Silence falls. The blossoms drift. And for the first time you stand taller, the weight of your own path settling fully onto your shoulders. Dawn breaks over Coruscant. You walk to the temple steps, where the city stretches infinite before you. Ships roar through sky lanes, towers gleam in morning light, life hums in endless rhythm. The galaxy feels vast. Too vast, and yet the Force hums steady in your chest, not whispering, not screaming, waiting. You are night now. The galaxy awaits. But as you gaze into the light of morning, the shadow stirs again. A whisper slips through the hum of the Force, sharp and cold. Night today, ash tomorrow. The storm comes, and you will not be enough. Your hand tightens around your saber. The light of dawn warms your face, but the chill lingers. For even as you rise in the light, the shadow waits in the stars, and already you feel its echo growing louder. The braid is gone, but its absence feels heavy. You stand taller now, the title of knight clinging to you like new robes. The council bows in acknowledgement, senators speak of honor, and even Ceres, your master no longer, looks at you with a faint glimmer of pride. And yet, inside you feel unsteady. The braid was a tether. Without it, you feel the galaxy's weight pressing harder. The Force hums around you, restless. It does not sing of triumph. It whispers of storm. And the storm has a name, the Nihil. Your first mission as knight comes swiftly. A Republic relay station in the mid-rim has gone silent. Settlers on nearby colonies whisper of raids, of lightning tearing through skies, of screams carried on the wind. The council suspects Nihil remnants, though scattered since their last defeat, still lurk in the shadows. You are assigned, not with Ceres this time, but alone. The words hit harder than expected. Alone. But you bow, as all Jedi must, and take the task. The shuttle hums beneath you as you cut through hyperspace. Its walls feel smaller without your master's presence. The silence presses tighter. You meditate as taught, yet calm does not come. Each time you close your eyes, you see the nihil ships bursting from hyperspace at impossible angles, their storms tearing apart the lanes. Each time you breathe, you hear the settlers' screams. Each time you reach into the Force, you feel the tremor, the warning that has never left you. The nihil are not gone. They are not beaten. They are waiting, and you are walking into their echo. The station drifts silent above a barren moon. Once it glowed with Republic banners, its beacons guiding ships safely through the lanes. Now, its hull is scarred, its lights dead. The docking clamps hang open like broken jaws. You step through the airlock, saber at your side, cloak brushing the floor. The air is stale, tinged with smoke. Your footsteps echo too loudly. The halls are empty, screens flicker with static, doors hang half open, a mug lies shattered in a corridor, its liquid dried long ago. The silence is wrong. You stretch out with the Force. At first, nothing. Then, faint, a residue, not of life, but of death. Screams that no longer exist, fear that still clings to the walls like smoke, an echo. The nihil were here. You move deeper. Signs appear. Scorch marks from blaster fire, walls carved by crude blades, the smear of blood across metal. You find bodies, Republic officers, their eyes still wide, their throats cut. Civilians huddled in corners, cut down without mercy. Children's toys lie scattered near small forms that will never rise again. Your chest tightens, your breath stutters. The Force screams in sorrow. The nihil left nothing alive. But why then does the silence feel so loud? You find the answer in the command center. The consoles are shattered, sparks hissing, hollow displays flicker with static, but one remains, barely functioning. You adjust it, and the image sputters to life. A recording. The station commander, her face pale with fear. Behind her, alarms blare, smoke rising. They came from nowhere, she gasps. Not lanes, not patterns. They appeared. The storms followed. Blaster fire cuts her words. She screams. The recording ends. You stare at the dead screen, your hand trembling. The nihil still holds secrets. Ways to twist hyperspace itself. Ways the Jedi do not yet understand. And if they are not stopped, no world will be safe. The Force pulls you deeper. In the storage bay, you find it. Not people, not officers, not raiders. Something worse. Symbols painted across the walls in crude, jagged strokes. Lightning bolts. Storm clouds. Eyes glaring through rain. The nihil left their mark deliberately, carved into steel, smeared in blood. A warning, a promise. And beneath the symbols, words. Not Republic, not Jedi. Nihil script, rough and sharp. You cannot read them all, but you feel the meaning through the Force. We are not gone. We are storm. We return. The whisper in your chest sharpens, cold and certain. They are not retreating. They are building. The silence shatters. Your instincts flare. You spin, saber igniting. Blue light floods the bay. Figures step from the shadows. Nihil. Not ghosts. Not echoes. Survivors. Their jagged armor gleams, their masks hiss with distorted laughter. Blasters rise, blades flash. One hisses through its cracked helmet. The Jedi walks alone. They charge. The battle is chaos. Blaster fire screams through the bay, bolts ricocheting off walls. Your saber arcs deflecting, striking, flowing. Each movement is rhythm, each breath a lifeline. But there are too many. They lunge from shadows, snarling, screaming, blades clashing against yours. You remember Saris's words. Harmony, even in chaos. You breathe. You let the Force guide. Your saber hums steady. Raiders fall one by one. But the nihil fight not for victory but for storm. They hurl themselves at you, uncaring of death, their laughter louder with every loss. For each that falls, another charges. And then, you feel it, the presence. Not one raider, something larger, darker. The air crackles, the Force trembles. From the far side of the bay, a new figure steps forward. Tall, armored in jagged plates, a mask of storms covering its face. In its hand, not blaster or blade, but something worse, an electro-axe crackling with stolen energy. The nihil roar at its arrival. Your chest tightens. The Force screams. This is no ordinary raider. This is Warlord, and you are alone. The Warlord lifts the axe, its hum drowning the bay. Its voice booms through the mask, distorted but clear. Knight, you will fall. Like the rest. Your saber hums brighter. The settle. Urs screams, the commander's recording, the marks on the wall, all burn in your mind. The shadow whispers, strike, rage, end it. But Saris's voice lingers too. Balance, harmony, the force is your anchor. The warlord charges, the axe crashes against your blade, sparks erupting, the impact rattling your bones. The force roars through your chest, louder than ever, and as dawn breaks over the stars beyond the viewport, you realize this is your true trial, not the halls of the temple, not the chambers of vision. Here, in fire and blood, against storm and shadow, the galaxy tests if you are truly Jedi. Chapter 12. A Temple Under Siege. The halls of the Jedi Temple have always felt eternal, stone carved from ancient quarries, pillars rising toward the heavens. Statues of masters long gone, their gazes carved to endure 1,000 lifetimes. Here, you once walked as youngling, then as Padawan. Here your braid was cut and you rose as knight. But now, as you return, the temple feels different. Not safe, not eternal, waiting. The echoes of the Nihil still cling to you. The warlord's laughter still rattles in your bones, his axe crashing against your blade, sparks flooding the bay. Though you lived, though you stood, the whispers linger. We are storm. We return. You walk through the grand corridors, the force humming louder, restless. Younglings laugh in the distance, their voices high and bright, but even that sound feels fragile. For the first time you wonder, what happens if even here the storm arrives? The answer comes sooner than you expect. You are in the archives when the alarms scream. Red light floods the halls, sirens echoing through stone. The hum of the city outside is drowned beneath the sound of panic. Younglings stumble from their lessons, masters rise sharply from meditation. Voices shout over comms. Unidentified ships breaking through the planetary net. You sprint to the balconies, your robe trailing behind you, and you see it. The sky of Coruscant burns. Nihil ships tear through clouds, jagged hulls screaming with unnatural speed. Lightning crackles around them, storms of hyperspace energy ripping the air itself. Their cannons blaze, fire raining onto the city's spires. Republic fighters scramble, but the Nihil scatter unpredictably, striking where defenses are weakest, and for the first time in centuries the Jedi Temple is target. The ground shakes as blasts strike the outer walls. Stone crumbles, statues shatter. Younglings scream as debris crash. Yes, around them. Masters ignite their sabers, their voices calm but fierce. You ignite yours. Blue light floods your hands. The hum steadies your breath. The force surges in your chest. This is no trial. This is war. The Nihil breach the steps. Raiders pour into the courtyard, their armor jagged, their blades crackling with stolen energy. Their screams distort through helmets, their laughter cruel. The Jedi meet them head-on. Green, blue, and yellow sabers ignite in unison, their glow cutting through smoke. Blaster fire rains, deflected in streams of light. The courtyard becomes chaos, sabers clashing, screams rising, the hum of the force surging louder than ever. You charge with the others, your saber flowing through rhythm. A raider lunges, your blade cuts clean. Another fires, a deflection sends the bolt back. The force guides, your movement steady. But for every raider that falls, 2 more surge forward. The temple is drowning. In the chaos, you see them. Younglings trapped behind shattered columns, their small bodies trembling. Raiders charge toward them, blades raised. Your chest tightens. You sprint, the force roaring through you. Your saber arcs, cutting down the raiders before they reach the children. They cling to you, their eyes wide with terror. It's all right, you whisper, though your voice trembles. Stay behind me. The words are lie. Nothing feels all right. You guide them to safety, shielding them with the force as debris falls around you. Their cries echo in your ears. And you know, the Nihil do not come only to kill, they come to break. The battle stretches through halls once sacred. You fight in meditation chambers where incense still burns. You fight in archives where holocrons fall shattered to the floor. You fight in gardens where fountains run red with blood. Everywhere the Nihil's storm spreads, and everywhere Jedi resist. Masters hold the line pad. Awans rally, knights carve paths through chaos. The temple hums with light and shadow clashing, history bleeding into fire. But the Nihil came prepared. Their storm engines, devices stolen and twisted from hyperspace tech, thrum in the skies. Each blast they fire bends gravity, cracks walls, warps air. The temple itself groans beneath their assault. You feel it in your chest. The storm is not only outside, it is inside, pressing closer, testing the heart of the Jedi. In the heart of the courtyard, the Nihil warlord arrives. The same presence from the relay station, the same laughter, distorted and cruel. His axe hums with unnatural energy, lightning crackling along its edge. He strides forward through smoke, raiders cheering his name. Your chest tightens. The Force screams warning. "Jedi," his voice booms. "We are Storm. You are nothing but stones to break." Masters step forward, sabers igniting. Their blades clash with his axe, sparks flooding the courtyard. The ground shakes with every strike. The warlord roars, his strength immense, his storm engines feeding his fury. And you feel the shadow whisper again. Join him. Power is storm. Harmony will break. Your saber trembles in your grip. Your breath stutters. You shake the whisper away, but it lingers. Pressing closer, sharper, the battle rages into night. The temple burns. Its spires crack. Its statues crumble, its halls drown in smoke. But the Jedi do not yield. Rhinar fights beside you, his laughter fierce even as his robe is torn. Kira moves with calm precision, her blade a song of water through fire. Saris leads, her green saber cutting bright through the storm, her voice rallying others. And you, caught between light and shadow, between fear and duty, stand in the heart of it all. Each strike burns, each breath shakes, but you do not fall. At last, the warlord breaks the line. His axe cleaves through stone, sending Jedi staggering. He roars, his voice thundering through the courtyard. "You are weak, you are dying, and soon your temple will fall." The words cut deep, and for a moment doubt trembles in every Jedi's chest. You feel it, the Force shudders, and in that silence the warlord raises his axe high, its lightning crackling, its shadow stretching long. You know, this is not only battle, this is destiny, and if you do not rise, the temple itself will burn to ash. The temple still smolders. Smoke lingers in the gardens where fountains once sang. The great statues that lined the halls now lie shattered, their stone faces broken and scattered across the marble floor. The archives burn faintly with the scent of scorched holocrons, their voices lost forever. You walk through the ruins in silence, your boots crunch over debris, your saber hanging heavy at your side. Around you, Jedi tend to the wounded, carry away the dead, speak in low tones that carry not calm, but sorrow. The temple stood for centuries. Now, for the first time in memory, it has been scarred. And deep within you, the Force does not hum steady. It trembles. You kneel among the broken stones of the meditation chamber, closing your eyes. You breathe, searching for harmony as Saris taught. But harmony does not come. Instead, vision. You see the courtyard, red with fire. You see the warlord's axe cleaving through Jedi ranks. You hear his laughter, distorted, echoing. You see your own face in the smoke, your eyes glowing yellow, your blade burning crimson, and then, something else. Beneath the battle, beneath the shadow, beneath the whispers, another presence, ancient, vast, not Nihil, not storm, something older, watching, waiting. The vision fades, you gasp, your breath ragged, your chest burning. What is it? The council does not speak of such things. Saris never spoke of such things, and yet the Force shows you. Why? The council gathers in the scorched chamber. Their faces are calm, but their robes are torn, their eyes heavy. They speak of rebuilding, of strengthening the temple's defenses, of driving the Nihil back. You step forward. Masters, the Nihil fight with storms we do not understand. I have felt it in the Force, something deeper than their chaos, something ancient. Silence falls. The Master's gazes shift to you, some thoughtful, some wary. One speaks, his voice. See slow. The Force shows many things. Not all are meant to be understood. Another, dwelling on shadows, leads only to the dark. Their words weigh heavy, but inside, the Force still trembles. The shadow you felt was not dream, not illusion. It was truth, and it will not be silenced. That night you wander the archives. Many holocrons are shattered, but some still glow faintly, their crystalline surfaces flickering with ancient voices. You reach for one. It hums in your hand, warm and heavy. You activate it. A figure appears, cloaked in robes older than the temple itself. His voice echoes like thunder. The Force is not only light, nor only dark, it is whole. To deny one half is to blind yourself to all. The Jedi choose balance, but in balance there is omission. What is hidden grows stronger. What is silenced grows louder. Beware the day when shadow and storm meet. The holocron flickers, then dies. Your chest tightens. The words carve into you like fire. Not only light, not only dark, whole. Is this what you felt? Is this what the Masters fear? The Force pulls you deeper still. You leave the archives, wandering into the underhalls, chambers rarely walked, carved in stone older than the Republic. The air is cold here, damp with age. Torches flicker faintly against walls etched with symbols you do not recognize. You press your hand against the stone. It hums beneath your palm, vibrating faintly. The Force swirls stronger here, thicker, heavier. And then you hear it, a whisper. Not the dark voice that tempts you in battle. Not the hum of harmony, something else, ancient, deep. It speaks not in words but in feeling. A truth buried, a power hidden. And suddenly, you see a vast ocean of the Force, light gleaming, dark swirling, both currents entwined, not enemies, not opposites, one, the whole. Your knees buckle, tears sting your eyes. It is too much, too vast. The Jedi each harmony, but this is more than harmony. This is truth. The Force is not two, it is one. You stagger back, gasping, and then fear. If the Jedi deny this truth, what will happen when the shadow grows? What will happen when the Nihil storm joins it? The visions rush again, temples burning, stars shattering, Jedi falling in screams, and always your own face among them, your eyes glowing yellow, your saber crimson. The whisper sharpens. You cannot silence what you are. One day, you will choose light or shadow. You fall to your knees, clutching your chest. I am Jedi, you whisper. I am Jedi. But the Force does not answer. The next day you stand with Saris. She studies your face, your trembling hands. Something weighs on you. You hesitate, the words caught in your throat. Should you tell her? Should you speak of the holocron, the whispers, the visions? Her gaze sharpens. Padawan no longer. Knight, you must carry your own truths. The words strike deep. You want her guidance. You want her to tell you what is real, what is false. But she does not. She cannot. The path is yours alone. You nod faintly, hiding the tremor in your chest. That night, as the city hums beyond the temple walls, you stare into the sky. The stars gleam, but they no longer comfort you. You know now what the Force tried to show. The Nihil are storm, but storm is not their true power. The true danger lies in what the Jedi refuse to see. The Force itself is shifting, and if the Order does not change with it, it will break. A messenger droid arrives at dawn. Its voice is sharp, mechanical. Emergency report. A hyperspace disaster has struck a colony in the Outer Rim. Casualties massive. Starlight Beacon calls for aid immediately. The Masters gather in haste, their voices sharp. Urgent. Ships prepare to launch. Sabers ignite once more. And you, still trembling from the truth you uncovered, feel the shadow sharpen again. This disaster is not random. It is storm. It is beginning. The call comes at dawn. You wake to the sound of alarms echoing through the temple, their shrill cry bouncing off the stone like thunder. Jedi rush through the halls, their robes flowing, their voices sharp and urgent. Outside, Coruscant's skies glow with early light, but the air feels heavy, unsettled, as though the city itself holds its breath. The council gathers in the great chamber. Hollows flicker across the floor, displaying chaos across the galaxy. Ships burning in hyperspace, fractured debris slamming into colonies, entire fleets torn apart by unseen forces. Starlight Beacon's signal repeats, its voice panicked. Hyperspace disaster, lanes collapsing, casualties rising, aid required. The council's voices remain calm, but their faces are lined with strain. This is no mere accident. The storm in hyperspace has reached beyond any known pattern. The Republic calls. The Jedi will answer. And so, you are sent. The cruiser tears through the void, its engines roaring, its halls filled with Jedi and healers. Masters meditate, their brows furrowed. Padawans pace nervously, sabers hanging heavy at their sides. You sit in the cockpit watching the stars stretch past, but hyperspace does not hum steady. It flickers, it shudders. The blue currents twist like veins of lightning, sharp and violent. The force screams in your chest. Ceres stands beside you, her hands clasped behind her back, her gaze steady on the chaos beyond the viewport. The Nihil's storm engines, she murmurs. This is their doing. They have torn the lanes themselves. Your chest tightens. How do we fight what we cannot see? Her eyes flick to you. We do not fight the storm. We endure it. We bend, so that others may not break. The words steady you, but only faintly, for the force still trembles, restless, as though warning of something even greater. The system appears, and disaster unfolds before your Yes. Debris rains from hyperspace, ships torn apart mid-jump. Their fragments streak across the skies of helpless colonies, fireballs slamming into the ground. Settlements burn, mountains crumble, oceans boil with falling wreckage. Screams echo through comms, desperate voices calling for aid. Our shields are failing, children trapped in the crash zone. We cannot hold. The galaxy is on fire. You grip your saber tighter, your breath shaking. Never have you seen destruction like this. Not battle, not war. This is catastrophe, and the Nihil caused it. The cruiser descends onto a colony world. The ground trembles beneath impact after impact. Flames rise into the sky. Settlers run through the streets, their voices breaking with terror. You and the other Jedi leap into the chaos. Sabers ignite, glowing like beacons in the smoke. The force surges, carrying you through fire and rubble. A child is trapped beneath a fallen beam. You lift it with a surge of will, guiding them to safety. A mother cries for her family. You guide her to the evac ships. Raiders prowl among the wreckage, scavenging, laughing. You cut them down, your blade humming through smoke. The force flows sharper than ever, guiding your every step. But even as you save, you cannot stop the storm. For every life you rescue, another is lost to falling debris, to fire, to chaos. The galaxy drowns before your eyes, and you are only one blade against the flood. Hours stretch into eternity. Sweat burns your skin, your robes torn, your breath ragged. The colony smolders around you, half its homes reduced to ash. Survivors huddle in the shadows, their eyes wide, their hope fragile. Jedi move among them, offering calm, offering aid. But you feel the truth. This is not victory. This is survival. Ceres kneels beside a wounded settler, her hands glowing faintly with healing light. Her voice is steady, but her eyes burn with sorrow. The storm will return, she murmurs to you. This is only first strike. The Nihil test the galaxy, and now they know how it breaks. The words settle in your chest like stone. As night falls over the broken world, you retreat into the ruins of a temple once built for local gods. Its roof has caved, its statues cracked, but its walls still stand. You kneel in silence, your saber resting across your knees. You close your eyes. You reach into the force. And visions come. You see the hyperspace storms, twisting, tearing, unnatural. You see Nihil ships moving through them with ease, their engines glowing with stolen power. You see Jedi falling, temples burning, stars themselves shattering. And then you see it, the beacon. Starlight itself blazing above the galaxy, a symbol of hope. You see it burning, its frame cracking, its light fading into the void. The vision shatters. You gasp, your chest burning, your heart racing. If Starlight falls, the galaxy's hope falls with it. And the Nihil know this. You rise, your hands trembling. The force whispers sharper now, no longer hidden. The storm is not accident. The storm is design, and the design has only begun. Your eyes sting with tears. You whisper into the night, then what must I do? The force does not answer. At dawn, survivors gather, their faces hollow. Ships of the Republic arrive, carrying aid, supplies, healers. Senators speak of rebuilding. The Jedi stand in silence, their sabers extinguished, their robes heavy with ash. But beneath the surface, you feel it. The Nihil do not celebrate victories with planets conquered or banners raised. Their victory is here, in fear, in chaos, in doubt. The Republic trembles, the order falters. The people whisper, if the Jedi cannot save us, what can? And you know, the galaxy has changed. The great disaster is not event. It is turning, and from this turning, the storm will grow. Saris finds you at the edge of the smoldering colony. Her eyes study your face, your trembling hands. You have seen it, she says softly. You hesitate. The beacon, falling. Her silence is answer enough. She has seen it too. Her hand rests on your shoulder. The Force shows us not certainties, but warnings. The question is not if it happens. The question is if we rise when it does. You nod faintly, but your chest still burns. For deep inside you know this disaster is only the first, and the next storm will strike harder. Above you the stars flicker. The hyperspace lanes still shudder, broken, restless. And in that silence the shadow whispers again. You save nothing. The galaxy bleeds, and soon, even hope will burn. Your hand tightens around your saber. The dawn rises over ash. The survivors cling to fragile life, and you, Knight of the High Republic, stand in the ruins, caught between the Force's light and the shadow's whisper. And you know, the true battle is yet to come. The galaxy is quieter after the great disaster, but it is not peace. Ships still burn in the void, fragments still rain on forgotten worlds, and hyperspace itself still trembles with fractures unseen. The Republic speaks of rebuilding, senators assure the people of safety, and even the Council speaks of calm. Yet the Force does not sing calm. It hums, restless, warning. You feel it in every breath, every silence between heartbeats. The storm is not gone. It is waiting. And then, the waiting ends. The message comes from the mid-rim, a colony world, barely a whisper among the Republic's stars, reports nihil presence. Raiders have entrenched themselves in its forests, cutting off trade, slaughtering settlers, spreading chaos. The Council assigns you, alone. You bow, as a knight must, but inside, your chest trembles, for the whispers have not left you. Each night, as you close your eyes, you hear them. The storm grows. You will face it. You will fall. Still, you go. The shuttle descends through storms. Lightning splits the skies of the colony, thunder rolling across endless forests. The air tastes sharp, metallic, alive with tension. The settlers' outpost flickers faintly on the horizon. Its defenses scarred, its lights dim. You land in silence, saber heavy at your side. The settlers greet you with weary eyes, their voices trembling with gratitude. The nihil came weeks ago, one whispers. They do not only raid, they hunt, they play. Fear clings to every word, and beneath their fear, you feel it, a presence, heavy, dark, waiting. You follow the trail into the forests. The trees tower high, their branches clawing at the storm-choked sky. Shadows cling between trunks, thick and heavy. The air hums with tension, each breath sharp against your throat. You ignite your saber. Blue light floods the dark. Its hum steadies your steps. The whispers come again, curling through the east storm. Closer, closer. You feel me. I feel you. And then he steps from the shadows. The warlord, his armor jagged, scarred from past battles. His mask cracked, revealing one eye glowing faintly with stormlight. In his hands, the axe still crackling with stolen energy. He laughs, distorted and low. Knight, alone, foolish. Your chest tightens. The Force roars in warning, but your blade does not falter. This ends tonight. The duel begins. The warlord charges, his axe crashing down with a roar. Sparks explode as it collides with your saber, the shock rattling your arms, the impact forcing you back. His strength is immense, his fury relentless. But you have rhythm. You move as Saris taught, breathing, flowing, letting the Force guide. Each strike deflects, each step bends but does not break. You circle, your blade flashing through the dark. The forest becomes battlefield. Trees shatter, branches burn, the ground scorches beneath your clash. The storm above roars louder, lightning splitting the sky in rhythm with every strike. He swings wild, heavy. You move precise, light. For a moment you hold him, but the whispers press closer. You are weak. You cannot stop him. Rage, and you will end this. Your strikes grow sharper, heavier. Anger fuels you, just enough to push him back. Sparks rain as your blade slices across his armor, leaving a glowing scar. He roars, staggering, then laughs. Yes, more. Let the storm take you. You freeze, your chest burning. He is not only fighting you, he is feeding you. The duel drags on. Your body aches, your arms tremble, your breath shatters. The warlord does not tire. He presses harder, his axe crashing against your blade, each strike heavier than the last. At last, he knocks you back. You crash into the earth, your saber flickering. His shadow looms above you, his axe raised high. The whispers scream, "Strike first! Kill him now!" Rage is your salvation. Your vision blurs. The settlers' cries, Saris's voice, the council's lessons all fade. Only the shadow remains, and in that moment, you see yourself again, crimson blade, yellow eyes, the same vision from the chamber. You shake your head, gasping, "No, I will not." The warlord roars, his axe descending. You close your eyes, and you breathe. The force floods you, not fear, not anger, connection, the rhythm of the storm, the heartbeat of the forest. The settler's fragile hope, even the warlord's fury, wild and sharp, becomes thread in the current. You rise, your saber hums steady, brighter than before. You flow with the storm, not against it. The axe crashes, but you redirect it, letting his strength burn itself out. You step into rhythm, your blade moving like water through fire. Strike, flow, breathe. The warlord stumbles, his laughter falters, his eye widens. "This is not storm." "No," you whisper, your saber flashing. "It is the force." Your blade arcs. The axe shatters, sparks erupt, the forest blazing with light. The warlord falls to his knees, his breath ragged, his mask cracked. The duel is won, or so you think. The warlord laughs again, weaker but sharp. "You think storm ends with me? Fool! We are many, we are everywhere, and soon, even your beacon will burn." Beacon. The vision rushes back. Starlight cracking, its light fading, its hope dying. Your chest tightens. The force screams again, louder than ever. The warlord collapses, his body still, his laughter fading into silence. The forest is quiet. The storm above eases, but inside, the shadow lingers. The Nihil are not finished, and Starlight's fall is closer than ever. You extinguish your saber, its glow fading into the dark. The settlers will live. The warlord is dead, but victory feels hollow. For the duel was not only his, it was yours, and deep inside, you know, you will face yourself again, and next time, the shadow may not let go. The warlord is dead, but the forest does not feel lighter, the storm does not fade, the shadows do not retreat. Instead, the silence grows heavier, as though the trees themselves mourn what has just occurred. You stand above his broken body, your saber extinguished, your breath sharp and uneven. The echoes of his laughter still curl through your chest. His last words burn like fire. "Even your beacon will burn." The settlers gather slowly from the ruins of their homes. They look at you with gratitude, their voices trembling. "The Jedi saved us. The storm is over. We are safe." But you know the truth. The storm is not over. The storm has only begun. You return to Coruscant, but the temple is not the same. It still stands tall, its spires gleaming above the endless city, its statues gazing down in eternal silence. But the scars remain, cracks along the walls, ash still clinging to the gardens, whispered voices that speak not of harmony, but of fear. You walk through the great halls, and you hear it. Younglings whispering of Nihil raids, Padawans murmuring of the great disaster, masters speaking in hushed tones of cracks in the lanes. And beneath it all, the force trembles. The storm spreads. The council summons you. Their faces are calm, as always, but you see the weight pressing on them. "You have done well," one says. "The warlord is slain, the settlers saved." But another leans forward, his voice sharp. "And yet, the Nihil do not falter. Their chaos grows, their secrets deepen. What you saw in hyperspace, what you felt, must be understood." You bow your head. "Masters, the force shows me visions, the beacon falling, the galaxy burning, shadows rising. We must prepare." The chamber grows cold. One master frowns. "Visions are dangerous. The future is never fixed. To act on them risks making them true." Another shakes her head. "To ignore them risks blindness. We haven't already seen what ignorance brings." Their voices clash, their harmony fractures, and you, Knight of the Order, stand in the center, your warning hanging like storm cloud over stone. Later, Saris finds you in the meditation chamber. Her presence steadies you, though even she seems heavier now, her steps slower, her gaze sharper. "You spoke truth," she says. "The council hears, but they do not yet listen." You stare at the floor. If they do not listen, what hope is left? Her eyes linger on you, steady. Hope is not given. Hope is made. By every choice, every sacrifice. The words strike deep, and yet the tremor in your chest does not ease. For you feel it. The darkness is not only outside, it is inside the order itself. The Republic speaks loudly of strength, but fear runs beneath its words. Senators argue in endless chambers, their voices sharp with blame. Some call for greater fleets, others for tighter control of the hyperspace lanes. Whispers grow of systems pulling away, fearful that the Republic cannot protect them. You stand among them as guardian, your robes heavy, your saber hanging at your side. They speak of safety, but their eyes tremble. They speak of unity, but their voices divide. The Nihil's victory is not conquest. It is this: doubt, fear, fracture. And you know the Republic is cracking. In the quiet of night, the visions return. You kneel in the gardens, blossoms drifting through the air. Your eyes close, your breath slows. You reach into the Force, searching for calm. But the Force no longer hums steady. It screams. You see stars shatter, hyperspace tear itself apart. Starlight beacon crack, its frame splitting, its light extinguished. Jedi falling, their sabers silenced, their robes burning. And in the center, you again. Crimson blade, yellow eyes, shadow where light should be. You gasp, staggering. The whisper returns, sharper than ever. You cannot. To stop this, you are storm, you are shadow, you will fall. You press your hands to your head, shaking. No, I am Jedi. But the whisper only laughs. The next days are filled with missions. Worlds still call for aid. Raiders still strike. Hyperspace still breaks. You fly from system to system, your saber never cold, your robes never clean. You save where you can. You fail where you cannot. And always, the shadow follows. Each battle, each scream, each death adds weight. You feel the order stretching thinner. Padawans sent into storms they are not ready for. Masters falling where once they stood eternal. The Jedi are not endless. The order bleeds, and the storm grows louder. One night, on a world torn by raids, you find Rhynar again. His grin is dimmer now, his robe torn, but his eyes still burn with fire. "Brother," he says, clapping your shoulder. "Still breathing?" You laugh faintly, but the sound is hollow. Barely. Together you fight through the ruins, your sabers glowing in the dark. For a moment it feels like old days. Padawans in training, sparring in the cruiser halls, but the stakes are heavier, the scars deeper. After the battle, you sit together among the ashes. Rynar's voice is quiet. "Do you ever wonder if we'll survive this?" You hesitate, the visions flashing in your mind, the beacon burning, your own fall. You force a smile. "We have to." But inside, you are not sure. Kira joins you days later, her calm presence still like river among fire. She studies your face, your restless hands. "You've seen more than you speak," she says. "I feel it in you." You meet her gaze, and for a moment, you want to tell her everything. The holocron, the whispers, the visions, but the words die on your tongue. "Then feel this too," you whisper. "The storm is not done. Darkness rises, and I do not know if the order can stand." Her silence is answer enough. She feels it too. The council speaks again, their voices strained. "The Biko and must stand. It is symbol of unity. It is heart of hope. If it falls, the galaxy falls with it." And in their words, you hear fear, not calm, not harmony. Fear. The Jedi are not blind. They see the storm, but they cannot stop it, and you feel it pressing closer. That night, as you kneel in the dark, the Force trembles sharper than ever. You see the beacon again, its light blazing. You see Nihil ships swarming, storms tearing through its frame. You see Jedi screaming, fire consuming, stars falling. And then you see yourself again. Crimson blade, yellow eyes, shadow where once there was night. The whisper curls through your chest, soft and certain. Darkness rises, and you rise with it. You fall to your knees, clutching your saber, your tears burning. "I will not fall," you whisper into the night. "I will not." But the stars above flicker, the Force shudders, and the shadow only laughs. The night is colder than it should be. You sit on the deck of a cruiser bound for Starlight Beacon, the stars sliding past the viewport in fractured streams of hyperspace. Rhynar is at your side, his grin dim but stubborn. Kira kneels in silence across the chamber, her eyes closed, her breath steady. 3 Jedi once bound in laughter and fire. 3 who swore you'd face the galaxy together. But the silence between you is heavier than the void outside. The storm has already begun to crack what once was unbreakable. The Nihil raids grow bolder. Each mission sends you deeper into chaos. Villages left smoking, families scattered, Republic fleets crippled. Everywhere you go, you see the scars. And each time you feel it in your chest, the shadow pressing closer. The Jedi do not say it aloud, but you hear it in their whispers. The order is stretched thin, too thin. The great disaster shook more than the Republic. It shook the Jedi's faith in themselves. Rhinar says it outright one night, his voice sharp as a blade. This isn't working. We put out one fire, 10 more burn, and every time we lose someone else. Kira opens her eyes, calm but pained. We cannot be everywhere. We can only serve where the Force places us. He laughs bitterly. And when the Force places us nowhere, when the galaxy drowns while we meditate in silence, you say nothing. For the first time you feel both of them are right, and that truth is worse than either argument. The fracture grows deeper in the field. On one world, raiders torch a farming colony. Settlers scream as fire consumes their crops, their homes, their families. You and Rhinar cut a path through the smoke, your sabers flashing. But when the raiders retreat, Rhinar does not stop. He chases them. You call out, "Enough! They're fleeing!" He turns, his blade still burning, his voice raw. "They'll come back. You know they will. If I let them go." Their storm kills twice as many tomorrow. His strike falls before you can reach him. A raider collapses, cut down not in battle but in flight. The settlers cheer, but your chest burns. Later, in the silence, you whisper, "That wasn't the Jedi way." Rhinar's eyes flash. Maybe the Jedi way is the problem. The words cut deeper than the raider's blade ever could. Kira grows distant. She spends long hours in meditation, her eyes closed, her hands folded, her voice silent. When you ask her what she sees, she only shakes her head. "The Force trembles," she says softly. "Every time I reach for it, I feel it slipping, like sand through my fingers, like it does not wish to be touched." Fear lingers in her eyes, though she hides it well. Once her calm steadied you. Now, even she bends beneath the storm. The bond cracks hardest during a mission near the Outer Rim. You, Rhinar, and Kira are sent to protect a convoy of refugees fleeing Nihil terror. The ships move slow, their engines scarred, their hulls patched. Hope hums weakly among the passengers. The Nihil arrive like wolves. Their ships burst from hyperspace, their engines screaming, their laughter distorted. Cannons blaze, hulls shatter. The refugees cry out in fear. You and your brothers ignite your sabers, leaping into defense. Blaster fire rains, raiders board, the air fills with screams. Rhinar charges recklessly, his strikes wild and furious. Kira holds her ground, her movements precise but hesitant. You move between them, your breath ragged, the Force screaming in your chest. And then, it happens. A refugee shuttle takes a direct hit. It erupts in fire, breaking apart, bodies spilling into the void. For a moment the galaxy goes silent. Rhinar roars. His saber arcs wide, cutting down raiders in blind fury. His voice breaks through the comms. "This is what happens when we hold back, when we play guardians instead of so." "Low Dyers," Kira cries out. "Rhinar, stop! You are letting anger guide you." And you, caught between them, your saber flashing, your breath shattering, feel the bond that once steadied you begin to break. After the battle, the convoy limps forward. Survivors whisper thanks, but their voices are hollow, their eyes empty. You stand with Rhinar and Kira in silence, the space between you heavier than ever. At last, Rhinar breaks it. The council hides behind words. The masters blind themselves with calm. The galaxy burns while they meditate. "I won't do it. I won't watch more die because we chose restraint." Kira shakes her head. "If we abandon restraint, we abandon the Jedi. And if we abandon the Jedi, what are we?" Rhinar glares. "Alive. That's what we'll be." Their voices clash like sabers. Sparks fly in every word. And you stand between them, torn. That night, you dream again. You see Rhinar, his saber crimson, his grin twisted in rage. You see Kira, her face hollow, her eyes empty, her voice whispering of failure. You see yourself, caught between them, your blade wavering, your chest burning. The whisper curls around you. Brotherhood breaks, bonds shatter, and when they do, you will stand alone. You wake gasping, your hands trembling, your saber heavy at your side, and in the silence, you know the vision is not only dream, it is warning. When you arrive at Starlight Beacon, the fracture becomes undeniable. Jedi gather in the great halls, their voices sharp with disagreement. Some speak of diplomacy, others of war. Some argue for patience, others for immediate strikes against the Nihil. The order itself is cracking. You look at Rhynar, his eyes burn. You look at Kyra, her eyes dim, and you feel it. The brotherhood that once lifted you now, splintering beneath storm's weight. The council's words fade as the force trembles again, sharp and loud. You see it once more, starlight burning, its frame cracking, its light fading, and this time you are not sure whether it will fall from Nihil's storm, or from the order breaking within itself. The Temple of Starlight hums with uneasy silence. Ships come and go, senators shout in council halls, survivors weep in medical wings, but beneath the noise, something deeper presses against the air, the force itself, heavier, sharper, restless. You feel it every step, every breath. It pulls at you like a tide, as if waiting. At night, you cannot sleep. The visions return, starlight burning, Jedi falling, your own saber glowing crimson. Each time the shadow's whisper grows louder. You cannot escape. You are storm, you are shadow. But this time when you wake gasping in the darkness, the force does not let go. It pulls, urgent, demanding, and you know, your true trial has come. The call leads you away from Starlight's light. You walk alone through its underhalls, where few Jedi tread. The durasteel walls fade to older stone, remnants of temples before. The air grows cold, the lights dim. The force hums louder, vibrating through your chest, your bones, your breath. At last, you find it. A chamber, circular, silent, empty, its floor etched with ancient symbols, its walls lined with faint carvings of stars, storms, and blades. The force thrums here, louder than anywhere you've ever felt. You kneel, and the world shifts. You stand not in starlight, but in endless dark. No stars, no ground, only void. The force itself wraps around you, vast and endless, neither warm nor cold, neither light nor dark. A voice speaks, not whisper, not shadow, the force itself. You are Jedi, Knight of the Republic, protector of the light. Yet, within you, storm rises. You must face it. The dark ripples. Figures step forth. Rhynar, his saber crimson, his grin twisted in rage. Kira, her eyes hollow, her voice whispering of failure. Saris, her blade green, but her face cold, her voice sharp. You will fail us all. Your chest tightens. No, I won't. But the force answers, then prove it. The duel begins. Rhynar charges, his crimson blade flashing. Kira follows, her strikes precise, merciless. Saris moves with calm perfection. Every strike meant to end you. You ignite your saber. Blue light hums steady. The clash begins. Their blades crash against yours, faster, heavier than you've ever known. Sparks erupt, light flashing in the void. You stumble, block, strike, but each movement feels weaker, slower. Their voices cut deeper than their sabers. You are not strong enough. You will lose us. You are storm. Your chest burns. Fear claws at you. Rage tempts you. The shadow whispers again, strike harder. Kill them. Only then will you live. Your saber arcs wide, crimson for a heartbeat. You freeze, and in that moment, Saris's blade slices across your chest. Pain erupts, hot and searing. You collapse to your knees, gasping. The vision flickers, but the pain is real. The force speaks again, calm but thunderous. You have seen it. Your fear, your rage, your storm. This is what waits if you yield. The figures vanish, and in their place, yourself. Yellow eyes. Crimson blade, the same shadow that has haunted every vision. It steps closer, its voice sharp. You cannot deny me. I am you. Every time you feel anger, every time you doubt, every time you strike with fury, you feed me. One day, I will rise, and when I do, no Jedi will stop me. Your hand trembles on your saber. You're wrong. It smiles. Your smile. Then fight me. The duel against yourself is unlike any other. Every strike is mirrored, every weakness exposed. When you block, it shifts. When you strike, it counters. When you falter, it presses harder. Your breath shatters, your arms burn, your chest screams. The shadow never tires. It feeds on you, on every flicker of fear, every crack of anger. At last it knocks you down. Its crimson blade hovers above your throat. Its yellow eyes gleam. You cannot escape. Pee me, I am your future. The storm will rise, and you will fall. The force trembles, the void grows colder, you close your eyes, and you breathe. The memory of the beast in the forest, the trial of harmony, Cerys's voice, Kira's calm, Reinar's laughter, the settlers' cries, the children you saved, not anger, not fear, connection. The force hums steady, louder than the shadow. You open your eyes, your blade ignites, blue burning bright. You move not in fury, not in fear, but in harmony. The shadow strikes, but you bend, you flow, you release. Strike, breathe, flow. The shadow falters, its eyes dim, its voice cracks. No, you cannot. Your blade cuts through its crimson glow. The shadow shatters into mist, dissolving into the void. Silence falls. The force hums steady again. The chamber returns. You kneel on the stone floor, your saber extinguished, your chest heaving. Sweat drips down your skin, your robes cling to you. The carvings on the walls glow faintly with golden light. The force whispers, "You have faced yourself." But the trial is not end. It is beginning, for darkness rises still, and you must rise with it, or fall. The glow fades. The chamber grows still. You rise slowly, your breath trembling. You have passed, but you have not won. When you return to the halls of starlight, Reinar greets you with a sharp grin, Kyra with a faint nod. They do not know where you went or what you faced. You do not tell them, but as you walk among the Jedi, you see it clearer now. The Order trembles, the Republic cracks, the Nihil grow, and deep inside you feel it. The shadow is not gone, it waits. The force whispers louder than ever, the beacon will fall, and when it does, you may fall with it. The halls of Starlight Beacon gleam with light, but the silence within them is heavy. You walk among Jedi and senators, healers and refugees, yet every smile feels fragile. The great disaster has passed, but its shadow lingers. The Nihil remain unbroken, hyperspace still trembles, and the Force whispers warnings sharper than ever. But the greater storm is not outside. It is here, inside the Order, inside the ones you once called brothers and sisters. You feel it first with Reinar. His grin, once fire and laughter, has dimmed to something sharper. His strikes in training cut harder. His voice grows louder in debates. Where once he joked of duels, now he speaks of vengeance. They won't stop, he says one evening, staring out at the stars from Starlight's balcony. His fists clench, his knuckles white. We cut them down, and they return. We save colonies, and they burn 10 more. The council dithers, waits, preaches patience. But patience kills. You hear his words and feel the weight. A part of you agrees, but something inside him has shifted. A fire, not of hope, but of fury. Kira senses it too. Her calm is fading. She avoids Reinar now, her silence deeper, her eyes more distant. One night she tells you, he is slipping, and if he slips too far, we may not bring him back. You whisper, we can, we must, but your voice trembles. The betrayal comes quietly. It begins during a mission to escort supplies to a shattered colony. Simple work: protect the ships, guard the refugees, guide them to safety. Yet whispers of Nihil attacks haunt every corridor. The convoy is tense. Children cry, senators argue, soldiers glance nervously at the stars. You stand among them, your saber at your side, your chest heavy. And then, the ambush. Nihil ships burst from hyperspace, jagged and howling, their cannons blazing. Fire rains, shields crack, screams echo. The Jedi rally. Sabers ignite. The convoy scatters. You leap into defense, your blade flashing, the Force screaming in your chest. And Reinar breaks. He does not defend, he attacks. While you and Kyra guard the settlers, Reinar drives straight into the Nihil fleet, his saber burning, his strikes wild and merciless. His laughter returns, but it is hollow, sharp, twisted. He boards a Nihil raider ship alone. Through the Force, you feel it. His fury spilling like fire, his strikes no longer defense, but slaughter. The Nihil scream, but their screams are not only of terror, they are of chaos, feeding chaos. You and Kira cry out through the comms, Reinar, stop! Return to formation. He cuts the channel. The convoy limps through hyperspace, half its ships crippled. The settlers survive, but the cost is heavy. Soldiers whisper of Jedi rage, of slaughter not fitting guardians of peace. The council demands report. You and Kyra stand before them, your robes torn, your eyes heavy. The masters listen, their gazes sharp. Is it true? They ask. Did he break the code? Kira speaks first. He went too far. Your throat burns. You want to defend him. You want to tell them it was the storm, the fear, the fire that broke him. But the truth will not bend. Yes, you whisper. He did. And in that silence the bond breaks. Rhynar does not speak when the council summons him. He stands tall, his robe scorched, his saber still scarred with Nihil blood. His grin is gone. His eyes are fire. You speak of betrayal, he says, his voice echoing through the chamber. But what is betrayal? To act when the council hides? To save lives when patience kills them? To fight as war demands? If that is betrayal, then yes, I am guilty. The council's silence is heavier than their words. You walk a dangerous path, one says. He laughs bitterly. Dangerous? No. Honest. I see what you do not. The Jedi way is broken, and when the beacon burns, your harmony will burn with it. He leaves in silence, and you feel it. The storm inside your brother now beyond reach. The betrayal is not his alone. It is yours. For you spoke the truth before the council. You stood silent as they judged him. You did not chase him when he walked away. That night, he finds you in the hangar. His eyes are cold, his voice sharp. You told them. You gave me to them. I told them the truth, you whisper. Truth? His laugh is hollow. The truth is, you betrayed me. You chose them over me. And when the storm comes, remember this. I will not stand beside you. His words cut deeper than any blade, and in that silence the brotherhood shatters. Kira sits with you after, her presence calm but heavy. She does not speak at first. Her hand rests on yours, steadying. At last, she whispers, you did what you had to, but that does not make it easier. You stare at the stars beyond the viewport. The Nihil still lurk. The storm still rises. The force still trembles. But now, the bond that once steadied you is gone. You whisper into the night, if brotherhood breaks, what hope remains? Kira's silence is answer enough. The force whispers again, betrayal is not end, it is beginning. For when starlight falls, no chain will hold, no bond will save. You will stand alone. The words burn like fire. And as the stars flicker outside, you know the shadow is right about one thing. The beacon will fall. And when it does, you may face it without brotherhood, without hope, alone. The beacon shines. Starlight rises above the void, its golden arms stretching outward like rays of hope, its core blazing with Republic light. For years it has been more than steel and circuits. It has been symbol, unity, a promise that the galaxy could endure. But tonight it feels like target. The Nihil storm has gathered. Their ships swarm at the edge of the system, jagged hulls scarred, engines screaming with stolen power. Lightning crackles across their formation, their storm engines bending hyperspace itself, warping space like broken glass. And at their center, a massive vessel, black as night, bristling with cannons, the flagship of the storm. The last stand begins. The temple within starlight is alive with fire. Jedi race through halls, their sabers at their belts, their voices sharp with orders. Healers prepare the wounded. Masters gather in the council chamber. Padawans clutch their blades tighter than ever before. You stand among them, your robe heavy, your saber humming at your side. Saris meets your gaze, her eyes burning steady. This is no raid, no skirmish, this is their storm. And we must be the calm that endures. Her words are steady, but you feel the weight in her chest. She knows, as you know, that this is more than battle. This is test of everything the Jedi stand for. And if you fail, the galaxy falls with you. The Republic fleet gathers in formation. Gleaming cruisers stretch across the void, their hulls flashing gold and silver. Fighters swarm like flocks of light, their engines blazing. Across comms, the Chancellor's voice echoes. The Republic stands united. The Nihil will not break us. Today we fight for every world, every star, every voice that calls this galaxy home. Her words ignite the fleet. Cheers echo. Cannons charge. The void hums with readiness, but the force trembles. You feel it deep inside. The shadow is here. The storm has me, and the light may not endure. The first clash shatters the silence. The Nihil fleet surges forward, lightning crackling across their hulls, their engines twisting space. They strike without pattern, scattering through Republic lines, cannons blazing, ships ramming. Fire blooms across the void, ships tearing apart in bursts of flame. The Republic answers with discipline. Cruisers hold formation, fighters strike in squadrons, their golden hulls flashing bright, but the Nihil move like storm, chaotic, wild, merciless. You and dozens of Jedi launch in interceptors, sabers ignite in cockpits, humming through the comms like heartbeat. Your hands grip controls, your breath steady. The battle begins. The void becomes chaos. Fighters scream past, blasters flashing. Nihil ships dart unpredictably, vanishing and reappearing through broken hyperspace jumps. You chase one, your cannon fire striking true, the raider exploding in a burst of light. Another dives at your wing. Kira's fighter spins in, her cannons flashing, saving you at the last second. Her voice cuts through comms. Stay focused. The storm wants us scattered, but scattered you become. Squadrons break apart, ships isolated, the Nihil pressing harder. Each time you strike one down, two more appear. Their laughter crackles through comms, distorted and cruel. And then, you feel it, the presence. Rhynar. His ship tears through Nihil lines, his cannon fire wild, his maneuvers reckless. He boards their flagship with a fury that chills you. His voice snarls across comms. You want to end this storm? Then we burn it at its heart. Kira's voice breaks. Rhynar, no, you'll be killed, but he is already gone. The Nihil flagship looms larger, its cannons blazing. The force screams in your chest. This is no ordinary vessel. It hums with storm energy, hyperspace itself bending around it. You lead a squadron toward it, your saber glowing in the cockpit, your breath trembling. Blaster fire rains, shields crack, engines scream. The flagship roars like beast, tearing through Republic lines. And then, its storm engine fires. Space itself fractures. A Republic cruiser shatters in an instant, torn apart as though ripped through glass. Fighters vanish, sucked into ruptures of hyperspace. The beacon shudders, its lights flickering, its core trembling. The Force screams louder. This is not battle. This is cataclysm. The Jedi board. You land on the flagship's scarred hull, your saber igniting as the hatch bursts open. Raiders surge forward, their blades jagged, their laughter twisted. The corridors blaze with fire and smoke, blaster bolts ricocheting off walls. Your saber hums steady, cutting through storm. You move as Saris taught, flowing, bending, striking true. Kira fights beside you, calm but fierce, her blade flashing like water. Jedi surge through the halls, their sabers blazing against chaos. And then you find him, Rhynar. He cuts through raiders with crimson fury. His saber hums wrong, unstable, fractured, glowing not blue, not green, but red. His eyes burn faintly yellow in the firelight. You freeze. Rhynar, he turns, his grin sharp, twisted. Now you see, the storm is stronger than your harmony. And I will use it to end them. Your chest shatters. The betrayal is no longer silent. It is here, alive, burning, and the bond is broken beyond repair. The duel begins. Rynar's crimson blade crashes against yours, sparks erupting. His strikes are furious, relentless, his voice a snarl. You betrayed me. You chose them over me, and now you will fall with them. Your breath shakes, your arms ache, your heart screams. Kira tries to reach him, her voice breaking. Rhynar, stop, this isn't you. But his laughter drowns her words. The ship groans around you, its storm. Engine roaring louder, its power tearing space itself. Starlight trembles in orbit, its lights flickering, its frame cracking. And you, caught between brotherhood and battle, fight with everything left. The duel tears through the corridors. Raiders scatter, fire blazes, metal shatters. Each strike burns your arms, each block rattles your bones. Rhynar fights with rage, you with desperation. At last your blades lock, sparks burning between your faces. His eyes blaze yellow, his grin twisted. You can't stop it, he hisses. The storm will take the galaxy, and I will rise with it. You whisper through clenched teeth, then I'll fall fighting it. The Force surges, your blade arcs. The duel explodes in light, and as the flagship shudders, as starlight itself trembles, as the galaxy holds its breath, the last stand of the High Republic begins to end. The beacon falls. You feel it before you see it. A tremor through the Force, sharper than any scream, heavier than any silence. Starlight, the jewel of the High Republic, the promise of unity, shudders. Its golden arms crack, its core flares, its voice dies in fire. The galaxy shakes. And in that moment, every Jedi feels it. Every child saved by the Order. Every senator who once spoke of hope. Every settler who looked to the stars and saw safety in the beacon's glow. They all feel the same thing. Loss. The light has dimmed. The storm has won. You kneel in the burning wreckage, your robes torn, your saber scorched, your breath ragged. Kira kneels beside you, her face pale, her eyes hollow. Around you the dead lie silent. Jedi, settlers, soldiers, nihil alike. The flagship burns, the beacon crumbles, the void is alive with fire, and Rhynar is gone. Your chest aches with more than wounds. His voice still echoes in your ears, his laughter twisted and hollow, his blade crimson and merciless, his eyes yellow with shadow. Brother, friend, lost. The betrayal cuts deeper than the Nihil's storm ever could, and the Force trembles still. The survivors gather in silence, fighters limp through debris, engines sparking. Transports carry wounded, their cries echoing through comms. Masters move among them, their voices steady but heavy. The Chancellor speaks again, her words sharp, her voice cracking with grief. The Republic endures. We will rebuild. The Nihil will not break us. But you know the truth. This was more than battle, more than disaster. This was fracture. The Republic will rebuild, the Jedi will endure, but never the same. The storm has scarred everything. At night, when silence falls, the visions return. You see the beacon burning again, though now it is not flame but memory. You see Rynar's crimson blade, Kira's hollow eyes, Saris's steady voice fading into echo. You see yourself standing in the center, caught between light and shadow. And then, the Force itself speaks. Not whisper, not shadow, not temptation. Echo. What is lost is never gone. What is broken still resounds. Light fades, but it does not die. Darkness rises, but it does not last. The storm is echo. The Order is echo. You are echo. The words ripple through you like eternity. You whisper back, then what am I? The echo answers, choice. You wake, trembling, the Force humming sharp in your chest. Kira finds you at dawn. Her face is weary, her robe torn, but her presence steadies you. She does not speak at first. She only sits beside you, watching the stars burn beyond the viewport. At last, she whispers, we lost more than lives. We lost who we were. You nod faintly. But we are still here. Her eyes meet yours. Are we? The silence lingers. You have no answer. The Jedi Council gathers once more, their robes heavy with ash. They speak of rebuilding, of holding the line, of restoring faith. Their voices are calm, but their eyes betray the truth. Doubt, fear, division. One master says, the storm will pass. It always passes. Another shakes her head. This storm is different. It does not pass. It grows. Their words clash like sabers. And you, Knight of the Republic, survivor of starlight, stand in silence, the echo of the Force burning sharper than their voices. You see it clearer now. The Order does not break in battle. It breaks in silence, in doubt, in fracture. The true storm has only begun. You leave the council chamber. The halls are quiet, too quiet. Younglings no longer laugh. Padawans whisper in fear. Knights walk heavier, their sabers dim. You walk to the gardens where blossoms once drifted. Now they are ash. You kneel among them. Your saber rests across your knees. And you listen, not to voices, not to whispers, not to shadows, to echo. The Force hums, not steady, not broken, resounding. You hear every cry of the settlers you saved, every laugh of Rhynar before the fall, every word of Saris, every silence of Kira, every moment of harmony, every crack of shadow. All of it echoes, and you know, this is what remains. Not the beacon, not the Order, not even the Republic, but the echo. The stars burn beyond the gardens. You rise, your chest trembling, your breath steady. The Force hums louder now, not calm but clear. The storm will rise again. The Nihil will strike again. The Order will fracture again. But so will the echo. Every light, every bond, every choice. The shadow may whisper that you will fall, but the echo answers louder. You will rise again and again, even if only as memory. This is the truth of the Force. Not silence, not storm. Echo. The last stand of the High Republic is over, but the echo has only begun, and it will carry beyond time.